And we are back here once again with another episode of the MSK show. And this is going to be episode 114. And this will be the final episode for the MSK show for the year of 2024. So we finally made it here, boys. We've had some casting choices get replaced, obviously. We started with some different people this year, but we finally settled on at least a consistent group for Mondays. But all jokes aside, I do want to say thank you to every single person that has helped me with the show, whether we did a one-on-one or if we did a panel show. You guys are the real stars of the show, because you guys all know without you, the show does not exist. That's the point of it. Without you helping me with the show and giving the people what they want, entertaining the people when they can watch this, whether it be live or the replays, you guys are the stars of the show. And that's how it should stay. So yesterday was probably one of the worst days of my life. And I'll tell you guys that stuff later, because Bob's taking over for technical reasons I cannot tell you on stream.
Well, how's everybody doing tonight? It's good to be here. It's crazy that we got into the end of the year already. It feels like it just blew by, but had a lot of fun this weekend. I hope everyone enjoyed their Christmas. Syfax, how you doing tonight?
So far, doing pretty good. And last Friday, we went to go out and do some random bowling with a friend of mine, and then we ended up gambling till 3-4 in the morning at a random dude's house. So those nights are always a lot of fun. So I've had a pretty good weekend.
Hopefully it was a productive session.
Well, it was only $20 buy-in, so it wasn't a big deal. But there was a couple, I won the main pot at first, and then I lost some, and whatever. As long as I make my $20 back, I'm all good. But then we ended up spending it on beer anyway, so who really cares?
I can't tell you how many times I've come out of the casino with my tail between my legs. So
I went to Vegas earlier this year, and it was the first time in a while that I actually came up a lot. I only went out to gamble 2 times, and I came up 1,500, and I was like, oh dude, this is great. Because the last couple times it's usually I'd lose. I try not to bet too hard, so I'll lose maybe $200 to $400, and I always bring about 500 with me that I'm willing to lose, and then if I win throughout it, it's great. Good.
There you go.
I don't try to go too crazy with it, but
I've always done well in Vegas, so that's cool. Darnell, how you doing tonight?
Did somebody say blow?
I had to. I'm good, my man. How about you?
Enjoy your Christmas?
I'm not a Christmas guy. Not really a holidays fan. So, my kids had a good Christmas. My wife had a good Christmas.
There you go.
It's not really my thing, so.
All right, well, at least your kids enjoyed it, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Arza, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for getting my name right. Unlike MSK, who spelled my name wrong again.
I was literally practicing that inside my head just to try to get it right.
The R goes before the Z, MSK, and everyone else. My Christmas is pretty good. Got to hang out with the family. Got to watch the nephew a bunch. My nephew's 9 months old, and so he's adorable. And I'm his favorite person, so it's cool. Well,
Azriel, we get your name right all the time, Azriel. Come on. No.
You can enjoy your nephew because you can give him back when you're tired of him. You have your own. That's a bit different story.
Yeah. His mom can deal with him when he's getting fussy. Well, that's not true. Most of them, she's at work, so we're watching him when she's at work usually. I sacked a bunch more movies. So that's always fun. I got my new computer. I got a car. I'm doing great on those fronts, but those were last week, not this week. So, yes, Darnell, I will watch them eventually. Those movies will get watched.
I know, but you'll watch those movies when he watches The Union. That's when I believe you'll watch those movies.
We'll do it at the same time.
I'll watch a movie with Gabrielle Union in it. She was pretty banging, but
it wasn't a bad movie.
I saw Nosferatu over the weekend, and that movie fucking rocks.
Heck yeah, that was really good.
I temporarily came out of vacation because I've taken the entire holiday season off. Came out of temporary vacation to do a review on Nosferatu. Such a good film, and now I'm back on vacation until the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I had planned on not even doing any reviews through the rest of the year, and then I just broke down and went to see Nosferatu, and oh heck yeah, that was worth seeing. I really liked that.
Yeah, Nosferatu is going to be my last one of the year, regardless of that, and just whatever random streams people are doing. And if I had time to jump on them, I was like, okay, cool. I'll start the next, or like I already hit my goal of 100 subs. That was the goal. I only started a couple months ago, so I was like, all right, I already hit that goal. So next year will be a different goal. But once I hit that, I was like, okay, cool. Now to maybe focus on doing more videos and stuff at the beginning of the year. But as of right now, I'm just taking it easy for a couple days.
Yeah, I hit my goal. I'm like, I exceeded my goal by 10 subscribers in the first 10 days of December. I can take the rest of the year off. I don't need to do many videos, and I'll come back twice as strong. Also, did you guys know that we have an IMDb page?
Really?
Yes. Yeah, that was shown. I think that the last time we were on here, and then even my name is on there, and I just barely kind of joined on this stuff. So I thought that was funny. I was like, whoever did this must have done it pretty recently. So
wow.
All right, if it was anyone in chat who put us on IMDb, please speak up. I am dying of curiosity. My money's on WZ.
Did they spell your name right?
They did. They did.
They spelled mine wrong, I think.
Did they?
Well, that's what Emerald said. He put one in for insert title here, but because after this one, he's like, hey, look, we can submit
They
it.
They missed an E. They missed an E on your name.
It's fun. No, but normally on Twitter, I had to change it without the E because I couldn't log into my one with the E because I didn't know the password. So I just changed it.
I'm wondering what the prerequisites to join on there are. Do you have to have a certain amount of episodes out? Can you just do it whenever you want? Like,
anybody. It's like
Wikipedia or something.
Wikipedia. Anybody can. You can put yourself on anything.
Really?
Yeah. What I understand.
I'm gonna have to go check the page out.
Is that simple or easy?
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I think you pulled it up the last time I was on here on
Bob
Saturday.
is not on here. Yeah. Bob Loves Movies is not on here.
That's fine.
Oh,
I'm not anywhere. So you mentioned about hitting your goals. I'm actually pretty close to mine because I started my channel in February, and last I checked, I was at 989 subscribers. I've already hit my watch hours, and so I just need a few more to monetize. So I'm getting close.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing more than just reviews because all my stuff right now has just been like TV shows and movie reviews. But it's like whenever I jump onto streams, it's like I comment on whatever the pop culture news is anyway. So I'm like, I just need to do more videos like that to get my 2 to 3 videos out a day, or even every other day kind of deal. Just start upping the video count, basically, just get more stuff out there. That, or I could probably just clip myself out of a lot of these streams that I'm on and just freaking upload that, and it'll do fine. But just matter of
like you. I do mostly reviews. I've been doing a few reaction videos here and there to trailers, but finally broke down and did a ranking video a few weeks ago for my favorite Christmas movies. I'm hoping this year to do a few more of those and see how those do, because my first one seemed to do pretty well.
Yeah, I wrote out a list of my top 10 movies and my top 10 most hated movies of the year. So I have that set aside, and I'm like, I might as well just do a list on it. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow or something, or maybe even late tonight. I don't know. Just do a quick one.
To vindicate Darnell, I don't think I watched 10 movies this year.
Really? I know.
Not even 10?
I watch like 5 movies a weekend, man.
I just got Regal Unlimited, which is Regal Theaters. It's $21 a month for unlimited movies. Just has to be 90 minutes between movies, so I can see them multiple times a day even. So I'm going to start going a lot more to the theaters.
Yeah, I got the AMC pass. It's like about $25 a month, and you can see 3 movies a week. But like the AMCs out here, they're huge. They're almost considered stadium seating in a way. They're massive. So and that's the most common theater around me. I got like 4 around me, and then there's the one in Burbank, which is about 30 minutes away, and I go there for all the big releases, any Marvel movie or just something that's going to be huge, something you want to see with a lot of sound, Sonic, something like that, where it's like you want that extra, that massive sound basically behind it. It doesn't even matter what your seat is. You could be in row C, you could be in F, you could be in K or something, and it's like it just looks awesome all over the place. So it's a lot of fun.
I got that Cinemark membership, and so that's what I'll end up using. So I like the fact that you get that ticket that rolls over every month. So even if you decide not to use it, so
Well, that and all my AMC's out here. I don't know if you guys where everybody else is located, but it's like ours also have bars in them, so it's like we can just drink in the theater anyways. On top of that, and then you add up your points, and then you get free stuff on the side. So it all ends up kind of being worth it. But
all right. Oh, I see we got Angry Vulcan with us. How you doing, man?
how's it going, sir? Good to meet you.
You're muted. Finally get to see what you look like.
I know. Testing out the new mic.
You're Mexican? Oh my god.
I know. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, your profile picture does not do you justice.
Love the background.
Are you trying to be a character from Star Trek?
Could be. All right. Anyways.
You're good.
A Vulcan, isn't that Star Wars? No, I'm kidding.
It's SG1, Stargate SG1.
SG1 or what's that other really good one? Battlestar Galactica, something like that.
Oh, Vulcan, turn yourself up just a little bit.
All right. Let's see.
Also, Star Trek was always for losers. Real nerds like me, we had like Dragon Ball Z, and we played with Pokemon cards. That's what Chads did. We went and chased Pikachu. Actually.
Star Trek always sounded like that when I was growing up. Most people were more into Star Wars, but then when you get older and you like stuff like the story, like when you're actually paying attention to the story and the way that the plot is in all these TV shows, you start rewatching some of that old stuff and you're like, man, that actually had some pretty awesome writing in it, and like the stories are way better than most shit we get nowadays. So I've grown to respect it a lot more over the years. When I was watching it when I was a kid, I didn't really care for it as much. It looked too cheap or whatever. Now I can see it for what it really is, which is usually pretty good storytelling, or most of it, anyways.
I used to love the movies, especially Star Trek 2 through. Oh, Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 6. Those were the ones I really loved growing up. I thought those
are called
really
movies.
Good. Yeah, but the movies I thought were, to me, those were my favorite Star Trek. One, because I thought they were able to really expand on the storytelling from the original crew, because I always liked the original crew better than the Next Gen. Not that I had a problem with the Next Gen or anything. They had some great stories and some great episodes on there. I would even argue that Deep Space Nine was probably the best written of all the shows.
Yeah, TNG is pretty damn good, but because when you have stories like our TV series back then in the 90s and early 2000s, you have like 20 something episodes. I don't expect a show to have 20 good episodes every season. I just don't. But it's like nowadays you'll get stuff that only has 8 to 10 episodes, and you'll be lucky to get one good episode out of that. So whatever they were doing before, they need to kind of bring that kind of stuff back, because they're missing a lot more than they're hitting nowadays.
Well, no, when you have 20 episodes, you have a lot more room to miss. So they might have the same number of misses, but the ratio of misses is much more extreme.
But that's more what I'm saying. If you have a show that only has 8 episodes and only one of them is good, but you have something like 24 episodes, but 12 of them are good, that's more 50% compared to 90% failure. Like,
well, the thing was, back then, when you had those 20 episodes, most of them were standalone episodes. So like you said, you had that room for failure, but or it was okay to have filler episodes. I mean,
yeah, you could get away with filler episodes,
like the grand narrative or anything.
Do you guys remember when? You guys remember when it was supposed to be like 22 episodes for some shows, but the studios just ordered more episodes because they had to get to that like summer deadline? Some seasons of shows hit 24 episodes because they had nothing else to replace it when it was done.
Well, their season would go on like all year. They would take a little break throughout the year. You'd have like January
that didn't start till like
12 episodes.
Yeah, that didn't start till like 07. Before that, it was just steady. You'd start in this fall and go through to the spring.
Yeah,
it felt like it was always on. And
you start like late August.
And then rerun through the summer.
Yeah.
And then rerun through the summer, the previous season, and then be new season.
You would always take the break for the holidays.
You could just always have it on and then recap on stuff that you didn't get to see. Like, oh, I missed this week's, but it's like, oh, it'll be on in the summer, so you catch it then or whatever. But
the worst
they
time
don't do
is
any of
like
that.
when they come back in January and I'm like, you're only gonna be back for 4 episodes because they're gonna take a break for spring break. They always do it. January they come back, they'll be steady until like February. Now we'll be back with an all new episode in April.
The one that I'm hating right now,
the one that
I'm really hating on right now is like how they did Cobra Kai this last season.
Oh,
where they
yeah,
split it into
666.
three. They did 3 episodes, or they did 3 different parts for 5 episodes each. So it's only 15 episodes or whatever it is.
And then
it's
the
like,
movie.
and the way it's split up every couple months, and it's like, oh god, it's such a terrible way. I don't care for it at all.
And don't forget
I
the
really
movie
hope
to
they don't
close it
do
all out.
Yeah, the movie comes
next
out in
2026.
Yeah, actually, I think it comes out this year.
Yeah, no, it's coming out in
this next year.
What
well,
was
in
it,
a couple
May?
days, whatever.
Is
there's
when
no room to come out this
the
year.
trailer came out. It's saying May.
Okay.
I think it was like May 20th or some shit like that. They're trying to cram it in before Superman and Fantastic Four go at it, because those are going to be the real huge blockbusters of the summer. In theory, we'll see how they go.
Superman like February.
No, Superman is
June.
July.
July,
It's
yeah,
literally
right.
it's a week after July 4th.
Yeah,
movies in February
Marvel is February Captain America 4. Then
that's it.
Like
that's what I'm thinking. I'm sorry.
In May we're getting like I think Thunderbolts, and then the last one we're getting is Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
I'm more excited about Thunderbolts than I am.
Thunderbolts actually looks the best.
Yeah,
I know a few people who have already seen it, and they say that it's actually kind of fun, but I still don't think it's going to pull good numbers. So
no, I'm not saying it's going to tear it up or anything like that, but it just looks more fun than like Captain America. I think is going to bomb, and I don't even think it's going to be that good. And then, I mean, I could be wrong. It could turn out to be great, but there's a reason why they're releasing it on Valentine's Day. I mean,
that one I think is still doing reshoots. Like,
and then,
Fantastic Four, like, dude, they've never put out a good Fantastic Four movie, in my opinion.
That's why I'm weary.
The early 2000s one was good.
Wait, you see, I've got the opposite feeling. Sort of. Captain America is going to fucking flop. That is going to just fail completely. There's no saving that movie. It's because it's setting up the Femvengers with Wicked. Fantastic Four, I agree, doesn't really have a good movie out, but I just watching the trailer, I think that they're good. This is the first one they're making that's not full of DEI that we're aware of. I think that one's got a really good shot.
They got females surfer already. I wonder if they're even going to do, because from what I've seen or what I've heard is they did kind of release somewhat of a trailer. Like at whatever I can't remember what event that was.
Comic-Con.
One of the Comic-Cons. But there was a couple people I know that were there and saw it. And they were like, what they did show for Fantastic Four.
Okay. Yeah, I saw it.
What they did show of it, people were like, actually, it looks kind of cool. And I'm like, okay. But it was like 40 seconds or something. So it wasn't anything.
Yeah, it looked cool, yeah. It looked cool. Yeah, Thunderbolts, same thing. I don't think anything's gonna fucking flop. Again, they're leaning into that whole, girl boss, all men are stupid shit that I think it's gonna.
What's crazy is they actually recast Sentry. People forget Sentry was going to be Stephen Young. They actually recast him because and they didn't do it willingly. He just was going to do different stuff. He's just other things.
No. That is covering.
It seems like they're going to Adam Warlock him though, and just make him super powerful. But he's going to be an idiot. He knew.
Yeah, he definitely.
Well, hold on. Movie. He knew that movie he was going to get fucking roasted on that. To be fair, Bob is an idiot. Not you in the comics.
Yeah, that might be true. So as well,
Bob is an idiot. He's a bumbling buffoon. The Sentry is when he actually has like coordination and he's an actual smart dude, but he's also fucking psycho.
We should get the
I personally think though it's not really necessarily Disney or whoever their fault. Particularly, I think it's the people who are funding it, like BlackRock and stuff like that. They're basically beholden to whoever's funding Disney right now. So I think they might be limited in what they can do.
Well, the other thing we're getting because of this is like Hollywood is always a good 4 to 5 years behind the rest of the world. So all the stuff we're getting right now is all this holdover stuff from 2019, 2020 ideas. And now it's like, we're about to hit a point where it's going to finally start kind of turning, but we're still going to get a bunch of these terrible movies with these horrible concepts behind them for at least.
I think we're going to see something different this time, though. I think we're going to see something different. Because up until last year, this culture that was cultivated was still going on. In fact, this summer it was still going on. Back when around the time Trump got shot at is when I noticed culture started to change. As soon as like a massive change in the culture. Usually it takes, like you said, it takes 4 or 5 years, but I think it's going to change fast this time. They realize they're out of money, they're out of options. No one's going to their shit. They're gonna fucking do a massive, quick change, quick turnaround, like Whiplash, quick.
Yeah, they need to start finding a way to make some of these movies only cost about $50 to $100 million instead of these $200 to $300 million movies. That just to break even, you almost got to make $1 billion a movie. And
there's
not that many great concepts out there to pull that off.
I disagree.
You know what's crazy? The average person just really does not understand how much money they need to make, because the average person is so fucking retarded. They go, this movie had $100 million budget and it made $300 million. So that must mean that everyone made money. And it's like, are you literally retarded? That's just not how that works.
No, they don't have autism like us. They don't dig into shit and find information. They just look at it from the outside. They're not stupid.
No,
I
would challenge and say this. These people are so beyond brain dead that they actually do not understand that the amount of money theaters literally take 50% of the sales. Now, keep in mind, it's not just one theater. That's like 4,000 theaters we have in this country that do that. So I told the other person, if your movie makes $300 million, now take 50% out of each theater, gets 50% of those ticket cuts. You didn't just get all that money.
All you're doing is
it's the merchandise.
They don't look into. They don't dig into it like we do. They just see the total. We know because we dig. I
try to tell people. I always tell people all the time. Literally, just that surface level number you're seeing doesn't mean shit unless you actually apply a lot of what we're saying. But it doesn't matter, man, because it made that much money. It's like, all right, or maybe you're just retarded. Maybe your mom should have swallowed you. I don't know, honestly. God damn, dude. Okay, another one. That came out recently, not saying about these morons that obviously have no possible ways of using their brain. Gladiator 2, $250 million budget, only made $450 million box office. That's an insane flop.
I ruined it.
Keep in mind, I'll go off what Variety put out in 2023. In 2023, Variety said The Flash, which is a movie that had a $250 million budget. So the same thing as Gladiator, the same thing. They specifically said
they came out that actually had 350, but yeah. In the long
run. Wasn't the 250 the original budget?
Yeah, but this is what they had said. They had said this movie needed to make $700 million to break even. So I asked people this: why would Gladiator need to make less with the same budget? That doesn't make any sense. These movies, they have a $250 million budget. They have to make $700 million to break even. That's not profit.
Yeah,
shit, honestly.
Well, it's really good if there was less marketing too.
Yeah,
I mean, like the standard is. I was going to say the standard to calculate is just like take whatever the budget is, and then half of whatever the budget is usually what they do in marketing, and then you got to double that just for them to break even, because theaters take about 50%. Like some of them have these deals where they get
do 75%.
The first 2 weeks it'll be 60 to 70%. Like Disney has a good one where it's like their first couple of weeks they make more money, but then it drops down to like 50%. But like the rule of thumb, you could just go 50% across the board. And like some of these movies are leaving within 3 to 4 weeks anyways, so they're not even getting to touch that.
Yeah, but also take like things like The Mandalorian. The Grogu merchandise basically kept that whole thing afloat. And then it became oversaturated, and then that ruined that. But I mean, that's why I kind of also see merchandise.
Because it's just a weird thing I see people do where certain big blockbusters will have very similar budgets, and if one needed to hit this big number just to break even, but since this one made less money like the other one, and it's just not as, and it's just a little bit more light, and that means we automatically have to change our decisions.
This is where you people could call you retarded who know why that is how it is, because you don't know. You see, now you're the general public, and these other people.
Goodbye.
I'm just like correlating here. So I wasn't calling you anything. I was just correlating.
Oh no,
I just looked it up. Sonic 3 has a budget of $123 million. That movie is almost entirely CGI. How is that movie not costing more? And these are movies that are very low in CGI costing.
But according to Disney, it's not the #1 movie in America right now.
I mean, it isn't technically because of the bullshit they're pulling.
I think they're just barely. Well, it's not the #1 in the world. It's the #1 in America, I believe. Yeah. But in the world, because Mufasa released worldwide,
it hasn't had domestic release yet. But Nosferatu, which is probably the best looking movie I've ever seen, the camera work, the animation, the CGI, it's all phenomenally done in Nosferatu. $53 million.
Yeah, I forgot Bill Skarsgård was even in it, and then when
I had no idea that was
credits rolled, I was like, "Holy crap!" I forgot he was here. And
so let's ask, what do you guys think? Count Orlok's dick, was that Bill Skarsgård's dick, or was it a prosthetic?
Supposedly, he has a massive one. So,
same with Willem Dafoe.
No, I think we're gonna see movies like this, like Nosferatu, some little I don't want to call them indie, but like smaller scale pictures, cost about $50 million. I think the general is gonna be 250 and above now going forward, and that's gonna be the norm. Hitting $1 billion is gonna be easy if they make movies that people want to see, like before Phase 4 of the MCU. And before all the reboots and remakes of Disney, people wanted to see this shit. They wanted to see good stuff. They will spend $1 billion.
One of the biggest problems is no replayability. Like once you've seen it one time, you're like, I don't ever want to see this.
I don't think they care about that at all.
You go back to Infinity War,
that we care about.
Endgame and stuff. Like you would go see that 3 or 4 times in theater.
I saw both 3 times in theater.
Exactly. Men rewatch movies significantly more than women do. So by appealing exclusively to the female market, not only are you cutting off the male market, you are cutting off the rewatch market because women rarely re-see movies.
And when I'm at home on Disney Plus, I'll watch Infinity War and then Endgame. If I watch one, I gotta watch the other, and like I've watched both of those like probably a dozen times since the theater.
Also, when I went to the theater the other day, it was packed. I mean, literally, the theater was completely filled. My viewing of Nosferatu was almost completely full. There were far too many children. It was not
really.
It was very noisy. Not for Nosferatu, no, because they were watching Sonic 3, they were watching Mufasa, and they were watching Moana.
You can't really complain about that. Then I mean, come on.
Yeah, but they were all in the lobby making noise while I was trying to get my popcorn. And I gotta go sit down.
You're getting popcorn.
At my theater, there was only 2 showings. Only 2 showings of Nosferatu. The rest was all Sonic, and then there was a lot of Mufasa. Nobody was at the Mufasa. Like nobody was going into that theater. Sonic was, really, really full. And then there's, like I said, there's only 2 showings at a pretty decent sized theater in a nice area around me for Nosferatu, and they were basically completely sold out, like up to the A seats. And it's like, holy shit. But they only got two showings in one theater, so it just played back to back in one theater. They had no screens.
So, I mean, who would have expected Nosferatu to be this big of a movie? It's a low budget vampire film.
People want that.
Blair Witch, same thing with Blair Witch Project. Nobody expected that to blow up, and that blew up.
The best horror movies are the ones that no one expects.
That's still one of the most profitable movies like ever made. They made it for like under $1 million and then made, almost 100 times their budget or some shit. So it's crazy.
Still making money.
We actually got to interview Ben Rock, who was the production designer on the Blair Witch. And he told us some interesting stories behind the scenes about the production and stuff like that. How when the actors were out in the woods, they would actually go to sleep. They knew they would get awakened from the sounds and stuff, but they were never told when it was going to happen. So when they were waking up and filming, they were actually being woken up at those times. And so I thought that was kind of cool. And then every day they would just give them a little bit less food just to kind of make them a little bit more irritated. And
just remember, it had great marketing to the point, like, the internet was still just kind of really getting its start back then. And so just the natural word of mouth that was going around was like, dude, it's based off a real thing. That's everybody knew that for some reason, even though nobody was sitting there with like Twitter and Instagram and shit. Nobody could really talk about it other than in schools. But everybody knew, like, or at least that's the rumor, like, right. Dude, this is based off real shit. And it's like, so that spread like wildfire, and it just blew that movie up.
Yeah, they did a great job with the marketing on that. Even Ben told us when they pitched him the idea to be the production designer on it, they pitched it to him as that this was real, and we found their footage, and now we're gonna go investigate it. And so he was like, "Oh, that sounds kind of cool. Yeah, sign me up." And then found out really what the project was. So, yeah, that was a cool movie. I liked it, and like you said, low budget, made a heck of a lot of money.
Same thing with Paranormal Activity, the first one. Really fucking low budget, like super low budget.
Huge.
Yeah. I think the dude's camera I think Mika's camera cost more than the fucking budget.
So I was going
to say you mentioned bad concepts and spending all this money. Marvel, for example, when Shang-Chi came out, that should have been a lower budget film. It should have been him doing kung fu on the street level. Instead, they tried to make it some grand thing happening on a cosmic level, and that's why the budget blew up on something like that. It should have just been him on the street level doing kung fu, and people would have eaten that up.
Yeah, if that thing only cost 40 to 50 million, it would have actually made money. Because it made like 450, but if it's costing you 200, then you're not making that money back. You're just not.
It would have made a lot of money.
It would have done good, and people probably would actually, I don't know, talk about it fondly instead of like, I liked 2 of the fight scenes and they were okay, but they were over in like 45 seconds. So who gives a shit?
Well, this is the biggest issue with comic book movies as a whole, especially Marvel. Comic book isn't a genre; it's like a lens. It should be an avenue to go and look at other genres. Why aren't we getting Western comic books, kung fu comic book movies, sci-fi comic movies, fantasy comic book movies? The comic books are just an avenue. It is not a genre type. It is a way to explore various genres in a different medium. So why not give us these different genres? Like, where is my Jonah Hex movie? I know they made one in the early 2000s, but apparently it was utterly shit. Where is an actually good Jonah Hex movie? You're not
going to watch it anyway if it comes out. You're not going to watch it anyway if it comes out.
The other one they did was like that horror movie. It was like supposed to be the horror version of like all the mutants. What was that one called? It was like
New Mutants, wasn't it?
Yeah, the New Mutants.
And it was so they tried to do the horror element in it. And if you think about like, people with powers like that, it would be kind of horrifying if people are just shooting freaking lightning at people. Like it'd be like, all right, yeah, you could do a lot, or obviously their powers are a little different, but when you have people out there that can do stuff like that, like you could easily add like horror elements to this stuff, but they failed real hard with it.
You supposed to be good at actually telling stories. And that's the thing is all these guys are hacks.
I just wanted to bring up really quickly something that Marvel I hated that it did to people was that it convinced people that your movie only had to be a financial success if it hit $1 billion. That's just not true. Literally, as long as the movie makes its production budget back and just makes profit, it's all that matters. It doesn't have to essentially hit $1 billion for it to be a smash hit. Now, that's good for like the movie studios, right? But I think that's what Marvel did to people that made it feel like unless your movie makes $1 billion, then it's an utter failure, and it's like most movies aren't going to hit $1 billion. Actually, there's only been how many that have hit that? Like 55, 56 movies have?
Yeah. That's where I'm leaning. That's where I'm leaning with Superman right now. Like if Superman does over 800, they can still push the concept.
It's great. It's actually really good.
Oh no, it'll be really good.
The Batman movie from Matt Reeves only did 720, 750.
Yeah, no, but they can push like they can push all the James Gunn stuff a little further. They can actually move forward with these ideas that they're throwing out because they're talking about Supergirl, they're talking about what's that got Clayface, they're talking about stuff like that, and it's like I don't think if they make over 800, some of that stuff's going to definitely get cut. And I mean, if it makes $1 billion, then of it definitely going forward. But over 800, they'll still have like reasoning behind it to push for it a little bit more. Like, look, this is it's working and it's starting out, but the movie still needs to have good word of mouth and stuff. And I'm hoping when my assumption is they drop a Super Bowl trailer, and if that Super Bowl trailer does real good or real well, people like it, then that movie will hit over 800. If it doesn't, if that trailer kind of doesn't move the needle like the teaser one kind of didn't, people are pretty 50-50 on it, then I don't know if it's going to make over 800. So but we'll see.
Yet they won't make a Batman Beyond movie when Michael Keaton is just getting older and older.
Well, they should just make a Batman Beyond TV show is what they should do.
Yeah.
Just do like almost a shot-for-shot remake. You could almost do that.
Look, keep in mind. We almost got that. Remember, they were going. So a couple of people wanted to make a Batman Beyond animated movie similar to like the Miles Morales ones, but the executives saw the images that we saw and went no. So,
did you see the fan-made movie they made of Batman Beyond?
It did.
That was fucking cool. It's like a little like a clip, like a few minute clip. That was some quality shit, man.
I thought it was really good.
Cool. Yeah.
Dude, you saw the pictures, right? Did anyone see the actual animated pictures that leaks from that Batman movie? They looked amazing. They looked
better than the.
I think they were pushing for that. They were pushing for it when they did the Batgirl stuff, and then when Batgirl got canceled, I think a lot of that got thrown out. Like that was at least the rumors behind it. Like, hey, if Batgirl takes off, then we can push forward on Batman Beyond, because they were going to use Michael Keaton to be like her mentor and stuff like that. And so you would have still had more, it would have still been kind of a gender swap, but it's like, well, at least you would have pushed something forward with it. But apparently movie, obviously no one's ever going to see it. So
was the plan then to take Michael Keaton, and after Batgirl, takes the lead in the movie, was the plan for him to become the mentor type character just exclusively?
I think he was going to be the mentor character in that movie. From that's the rumors that were circulating anyways. And then from there, they might have tried to push for it a little bit more for,
I think he would have been killed off in the movie. He'd have been killed off, or he'd have been incompetent. He'd have been incompetent, and she just showed him up. You're my mentor, but I'm showing you how it's done, or something to that nature.
Very often, you see a lot more of this nowadays, where the student doesn't respect the mentor and it's consistently talking down to them. I didn't particularly like the show. I didn't think it was great, but that is one thing where I will give Hawkeye some credit. I thought Kate Bishop was absolutely, just in awe of Hawkeye.
She actually listened.
Yeah, through the whole thing. The show itself is a whole nother thing. But her reactions towards Hawkeye himself, for the most part,
some of it. I found she was a little disrespectful, and when she started doing things, she was less and less respectful to him and more like sarcastic. Oh, like looks like that's old school, and she was like getting more and more sarcastic and a little too confident and cocky.
I think the She-Hulk one was the worst one.
The worst part about that show was the Kingpin part.
Everything? Oh.
No, the Kingpin stuff is just, oh my God, holy fucking shit. Why? Are you going to tell me Kingpin literally will insta-kill someone and he can't kill a girl that weighs 120 pounds?
Like 90 pounds.
Serious? Yeah.
They neutered Kingpin before the Daredevil Reborn even came out.
I think they're gonna fix that. Again, I think they're gonna fix that.
I agree with you. I do think they're gonna fix it.
Apparently, that's the same Kingpin that was ramming this guy's fucking head in the door and killing him. But he can't kill a 100-pound girl. Are you serious? Come on, stop it. And maybe it's because they don't want to show a guy violently hurting a woman. But then don't do him. Then don't put Kingpin in the show. Then why was he there?
Yeah.
Like that whole sequence there at the end where
to make the girl look good. That's why.
Yeah, that whole sequence at the end. He gets hit by that car and whatnot, but she had practically beat him up to that point. Literally, if the way they should have done that scene, he should have been at the moment where he was about to do her in. People finish her off.
People said that she just survived him. People got to say Spider-Man has a problem fighting Kingpin. He's like superpower. Tell me that. Well, how did she? Oh God! So
he's one of the few villains.
She beat him.
He's one of the few villains that Spider-Man will not pull a punch on, and he still barely hurts him.
Yeah, you told me Kate Bishop can last longer against Kingpin than Spider-Man. Like that's crazy.
Or against Daredevil, which is like one of the best ones they've ever done. Daredevil was awesome, and it's like that guy had plenty of struggle against Kingpin, and it's like I believe this guy would at least have a chance. Kate Bishop, nah, not at all.
Yeah.
Or I'll use a video game example, the Insomniac one. You fight Kingpin the first time around in the game, he choke him. He'll kill Spider-Man. He'll actually snap his neck. The guy's mentally deranged. He's gonna go easy on Hawkeye. Come on, man. And then the part in Hawkeye where he whistled. That's so stupid. What a shit, man. Okay, I'll have to ask you guys, which one of those shows was an absolute drag to watch week to week?
Oh, Secret Invasion for me was the worst.
Mine has to be either Loki or Hawkeye or She-Hulk. One of those three.
I honestly think Loki was. I could not stand Loki. Was so one bad. I hate
Watch season 2. Watch season 2. I promise you, it's much better.
She-Hulk and Echo were pretty rough.
The only one I watched was Agatha.
Yeah,
Agatha was not surprised, but I got to make fun of it every week.
You actually made it through Agatha. Good job.
I made it 5 episodes.
We were watching it every week, so it was something to like. We sat there roasting it all the time, but that was awful. That was.
I was gonna say because remember, I was with these shows when WandaVision started. Like I was watching these episodes weekly when they were dropping. Either okay, I'll probably say She-Hulk only because She-Hulk was the only show that just made me straight up give up on it all. Loki never made me give up on it. Neither did Hawkeye. But holy crap, She-Hulk just made me go, nope, no more of this. I don't even want to binge these shows anymore. I just want it to end. Stop the bleeding. She-Hulk was so unbelievably bad. I got to like episode 6 and I was like, yeah, I'd rather actually go cut off my own dick than actually watch this piece of shit.
Well, if you do cut off your own dick,
you didn't like her twerking at all?
You're both gay.
If you... Yeah, we're talking at the same time. What was that, Anger? He'd be the prime audience. What you said, Vulcan? And you froze.
Oh. No, for me, it was Secret Invasion. I could not stand the fact that they made Emilia Clarke the most powerful character in the entire MCU. I mean, she's got every single power from all the Avengers. I mean, come on. I mean,
and they'll never bring her back up again.
No, she's done, and they turned her into the most powerful character. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me! This is ridiculous.
And that was the problem with the shows was that even after they're over, you're like, man, that was just a waste of time. I was sick and tired of feeling that after every show. Did it with the Star Wars one too, Obi-Wan and fucking Boba Fett. I was like, man, this is actually just a straight up waste of time.
You know what I found funny? And tell me if y'all saw this too. So let's just take Endgame and Infinity War. That's what, 5 hours of movie, 6 hours of movie?
Probably, right. Yeah.
There was so much story told, so much happened, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's take, okay, fuck it. Let's just take in Endgame. That's 2 hours and 47 minutes, about the length of an 8-episode TV show that Marvel puts out. In that same amount of runtime, they tell an eighth of the story they'll tell in a movie. Like, why not film it like a movie? Film it like a fucking movie, then chop it up. Don't film it like an episodic feature.
That's what I said. Yeah.
That's what I've said to DA a few times, where it's like these stories that they're telling, whether it's Loki, whether it's like even the Acolyte, you know, like I know that's Lucasfilm, it's a different thing.
Give us 20 minutes of an episode, fuck off.
What they should do is like the Werewolf by Night thing, because that worked, and it was like 45 minutes to an hour. It was like 45 minutes, 50 minutes, and it told the story it needed to tell, and it was over and done with. And if you were to cut up some of these shows, you could probably only get 45 minutes to 50 minutes worth of good content or decent parts in it, and, you know, edited around a little bit, maybe. And you would actually get a much more interesting story real quickly. Like,
that's the biggest issue with Agatha is it was twice too long. If you just cut the thing in half, it would have been actually almost enjoyable. But there's just so much dead air, there's so much time wasted walking places or driving places or sitting in places with dead air where nothing is happening.
It's the Dragon Ball Z of the MCU.
They walk and talk, sit and talk, eat and talk, drink and talk. Like that's it. Like,
now, to be fair,
they literally have a full-on Wine Mom episode in it. Like, Jesus.
To be fair to Agatha, them doing nothing was more entertaining than actually watching them do something.
So I didn't watch it, so.
Yeah, like, crazy.
I watched the first 4 episodes, and once I saw them turn into a rock band, I was done. I was like,
I watched one more episode after that, but my problem was Agatha had promise. It was almost good, but it was written by such an incompetent person that they didn't know how to take advantage of any of the positives, and they just doubled down on the negatives.
I'm gonna do that meme. First time. He's like, it's my first time watching. First time.
Well, even when I got to the last couple episodes of it, they tried to Kaiser Soze you at the end there with like, oh, like you go to his bedroom or whatever, and there's all these things that make you realize, or it's supposed to make you realize, like, oh, it's all in his head. It, like, he made this all up. He made this whole imaginary thing.
Wait, what, like, Agatha?
Okay, but yeah, and Agatha, like Wiccan, it's all the stuff is basically through Wiccan. Like Wiccan, like because his power can alternate. He can mess with reality like Wanda can. So all this stuff in the Witch's Road and all that stuff is all through Wiccan. And like they do one episode where it kind of shows some of that stuff, but they don't bring it back enough or do enough cuts back to that where you can start maybe actually piecing it together yourself. And it's just like, oh yeah, see, we showed you for like 5 seconds. Did you catch all this? It's like, no.
If they didn't even know it, then it would have been even worse. You know that.
I think no amount of that showing that would have helped, because the story is dog shit. Nobody wanted it
for the crap story they were doing.
Nobody wanted this shit.
I liked the first 10-15 minutes of it where it looked like it was going to be a police procedural. And after that, I was kind of like, oh God, this is, I mean, because like that first 10-15 minutes, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. This isn't too bad.
Okay, but also an escape room, an episodic escape room puzzle show could be really fun too.
Yeah.
That could be good.
That actually would be cool.
They just did that over and over. Like,
that's what I was hoping for. It was going to be 5 episodes. It was going to be. I was hoping for 8 episodes of escape rooms, with one episode that was the intro, one episode that was the outro of it all, or like one episode to introduce you to the main cast, one episode to introduce you to the group, 5 episodes for escape rooms, and the last episode is the ending. You could have done something like that and make it actually interesting.
I mean, that's almost roughly what it
is.
It's just not done well. All of it is escape room stuff, basically. Like every single one, they go to a new place and then they solve a little puzzle and then they escape out of a random door. Like that's almost every episode.
It also wasn't ever.
No, and they would have. There was a bunch of really stupid stuff that would happen too. Like the biggest problem, and it happened right at the beginning, where Agatha's like, if any of the witches hit her with power, she can absorb their power. And the very first episode, she gets hit by Death's power, it's like the Death version of witch,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, you should have absorbed her power then, right there.
That.
And it happens literally in like the first episode. And it's like, then they explain like, oh yeah, her power is to steal other people's stuff when they hit her with it. And it's like, well, you did that in the first episode and you didn't do it. So
wait,
you're
actually
already
directly
behind.
blast her?
Yeah, she pushes her back.
I think that blasted her with the door.
Well, she hits her with magic. Yeah, so she's not doing like a channeled spell or something. But
yeah,
you still get
technically,
hit by power.
Death didn't hit Agatha. Death through a door, and the door hit Agatha.
I'm pretty sure she like force pushes her back into the door.
I don't fully remember. That show was shit.
Yeah,
the show was still awful. Whether it hit a door or it hit Agatha, really don't matter. It was bad.
I mean, no, basically, anytime they showed us any rules, they immediately broke those rules.
Yeah.
Like I said, once I saw him become a rock band, I was done. Because we got that corny song in the second episode, and now we're going to do a rock version of it. I was just like,
and it's not even a good song.
Well, what's funny is like how bad that song was, and then they explain where the song came from. And I remember when we first watched it, I was like, dude, this song sounds like it was written by like a 6-year-old. And sure enough, in like episode 9, it's like her child that wrote the song basically. And I'm like, well, I guess it was written by a child, so there you go.
It's internally consistent. Look at that.
Yeah, great. Fantastic.
Yeah, it was bad.
Do we have any more Marvel shows coming up this year?
Daredevil is the next one. I think.
Daredevil next year,
yeah. Born Again. Yeah.
When is that? Is it February?
Sure.
No, it's March.
To be fair, Born Again after Kevin Feige acts the other version. This is Born Again Part 2.
They did it. Wasn't season 3 just Born Again with the Daredevil show? Wasn't that Born Again already? Like a lot of it, anyways. With the Netflix show, like wasn't that just Born Again? So they're doing it again. Like it's really bad.
How many times can someone be born again?
No idea.
So it's like gonna be like a Jesus allegory kind of thing.
You're so smart, Arza.
It could be. Remember, isn't Matt Murdock Catholic?
I don't know about the show, but I believe he does in the comics.
I think they stopped mentioning like the like a lot of his faith stuff within the first couple episodes, but he normally, I think he wore a cross and stuff, and his dad was, but it doesn't get brought up enough to where you'd like. And he goes to church. He goes to that church for like guidance every now and then, or he did, and then he stops.
I've only ever seen the movie. I didn't watch the show.
Oh,
but I did watch the movie. So in your face star now.
Did you see the rated R cut, rated R director's cut of the movie?
I have not.
The director's cut's better.
Yeah, the director's cut's better. I mean, it's still not a great movie, but it is much, much better. It's a lot darker and it adds back in some stuff that help flesh out some of the storyline. There's actually more courtroom scenes in the rated R version, which I liked.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember liking it a lot more.
When Sci-Fax was talking about the one special they did that was 45 minutes, that's what the show should be. 45-minute specials to an hour. Over, done with. Most of these don't need to be shows, if not all of them, you know?
Yeah, Werewolf by Night, like it was fine. Like when I watched that one, I was like, I don't know much about some of these characters, but I remember when I watched that, I was like, this is fine. And they just need to do that with a lot more of these movies. Or
if you're going to do a show, they should be 20 episodes long instead of 40 minutes long.
Well, if you're gonna do 20-minute episodes, then yes. But if you're doing 40-minute episodes, you could, at least when they do all these Star Wars stuff, it's like, okay, some are 20 minutes, some are 40 minutes, some are 35 minutes. It's like just combine some of this and cut some of this extra garbage out of there. Because you probably end up with about 45 minutes worth of watchable material.
Because for other TV shows to be like 20 episodes or 24 episodes or whatever, they're not like held down by certain constraints like Marvel would be. Because keep in mind, some of these shows can't even have certain characters pop up. So they're already like constricted. These are things that I didn't even think about back in the day when they announced the shows. I'm like, oh my God, we're getting more MCU. That sounds good. No, it turns out getting more of it was a bad idea. A very, very, very bad idea. It actually went as bad as everyone thought, Like after Endgame, it was like, yeah, the MCU, they conquered everything. It actually straight after that, turboed their own reputation by themselves. That has to be studied.
If they just made good shows, nobody would be upset.
Well, what you could always do is, They have all these filler episodes in an 8-season
episodes.
The 8 episodes, we've got like 2 or 3 of them that are filler episodes. If you're gonna do that, you might as well just have all the episodes stand alone. Do something like turn Batman the Animated Series, turn it into a show where each episode stands alone. And I'm not saying literally Batman the Animated Series, but something like that where every episode stood alone. And so you take a hero, you do a show that every episode stands alone, dive into their rogue galleries, you have a good 30 or a good 45-minute episode for each one, tell a story from start to end, and the next episode you move on to something different.
As much as they say, we have the model for what they should do. It was the CW. Every episode should be episodic with an overarching story that ties each episodic episode together. The way that Supernatural
there will be like a through line. Yeah, Supernatural. Exactly. Supernatural is one of the better ones.
Yeah, Supernatural did the best out of all the shows I've ever seen do it. But every single CW show runs on that notion of an episodic show with a beeline that connects the entire season. That's how you should do a superhero show.
Hell, even Smallville did it pretty good back in the day. Like,
this is how we've done TV shows. Well, this is how we've been doing TV shows since Buffy the Vampire Slayer came out. But once Buffy the Vampire Slayer
too.
Yeah,
because the X-Files had the overarching theme of UFOs and stuff like that, but you had the Monster of the Week, kind of.
Literally, Supernatural, it's Monster of the Week as they go and look for their dad. And then it's Monster of the Week as they stop the apocalypse 17
as they're about
times.
To fight Lucifer and stuff. And
yeah.
Whatever.
We gotta go kill Lucifer. Let's go kill this vampire first.
Big bad behind everything. And there's like a B through line through most of the episodes. It's like, oh, actually, this actually connects to the big thing too. Like they would be relatively smart about it, at least.
And that's the thing. Like if you have a 40-minute show, 8 episodes, immediately turn that to a 14-episode show. That's 20 minutes. Just cut the episodes in half. Just make it twice as long, or make it half as long episode-wise, but twice as many episodes. That way your viewers have a break. People are going to be a lot less likely to quit if the show is shorter. It's like, I can clear off now because there's 20 minutes left, or I can clear off now, but there's only 5 minutes left, so I might as well sit through the rest of the show. at the very least, you're going to have more people completing single episodes, and people prefer to binge things that are long than things that are short.
Yeah, they do.
And if you have a shorter, yes, it's starting. But if you also have it shorter, then also more pause points. So people will go and pause the show. They'll come back later because it's like, well, the episode's over. I can go take a break. I can come back instead of pausing in the middle of the episode and forgetting where they are and just never coming back.
Yeah, one of these days they might learn, but probably not.
No, they won't.
No, they won't.
You know, hey, Disney, if you ever need some diversity hires to help you actually deal with this, we've got a black guy. Are you Latino? Is that what you said?
Me? No, I'm half Hispanic, half Caucasian. So
okay, we've got half of one, and then we've got the gay guy. So we got your diversity.
I got a black guy's name.
That's close enough, and we could actually fix your shit. Hire us. We'll take payments in comic
books. Nowadays, I'll just be the white diversity hire because that's what it looks like nowadays.
I'm sorry, I'm the twofer, so we don't need you actually.
Oh, brutal, but sad story. I'll be the biker hire then. I got all the tattoos for it. It's fine.
There you go.
Just dye your hair blue, and then you'll be perfect.
Well, you know what's crazy? In older TV shows, what they did so well that the MCU is not going to do is understanding how to make a TV show, right? So you have the main cast doing one thing, then you have like the other plot getting set up. They don't do that at all. Well, at any point, like, and essentially create TV shows to even be TV shows. I really don't know why they're doing TV shows. I still keep trying to ask myself this: what are these TV shows for? They mean literally nothing. They've barely introduced anything in them.
They've been trying to bring in new blood for these IPs. They, for some reason, they think us, the original fans from back in the 80s and 90s and the 60s and 70s, are stopping purchasing or watching this shit. We're not. You should never pivot away from us in the first place.
Right.
I don't mean like white people. I mean people who grew up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s who grew up with these comics. We still watch and fucking ingest all this shit.
They're chasing a new audience that just simply doesn't exist. Like the audience you have is already there, and these 0.003% of people you're targeting for some reason, they're probably already fans too. You're not gaining like 1 million of these people because there's not even 1 million of them out there. Like,
well, you know, the shows are actually a great way to branch out to smaller audiences. This is, you know, like the one we all forgot, Miss Marvel. That one that actually wasn't made for us, but did really well in its target demographic. Did horrible outside of it, but realistically, that's how you get people who aren't into comic books into comics. Here is a TV show that has very little to do with comics. It's easily digestible, it's short, and it's something that like a little girl can watch and enjoy, and then maybe she'll find.
And a lot of people didn't mind the actress Amana Vellani or whatever.
No,
like,
well,
she came off like genuinely nice, and it's like okay.
And excited about the character.
With the crappy character, like they put her in as like this crappy character. The stories were crap, but it's like I still like the actress. She was like at least genuine about it.
If you don't insult your fans, they'll like you. Crazy.
I felt terrible for her. They turned around and threw her into the Marvels. Poor thing.
Yeah,
they killed any opportunity for her character with that movie. I felt bad for her.
I mean, if some of those rumors are true that Rachel Zegler might join the MCU, they might team her up with somebody worse.
Oh God!
I almost want them to do it.
No,
it'd
please,
be great
please
for
don't.
my channel. That'd be fantastic.
That's what I'm saying. I almost want them to do it because
I got it.
There's a point where you see the house burning and you want them to put out the fire, but they keep shoveling more coal and adding lighter fluid to it.
They'll ask me for help, and I'll hand them a gas canister, and they'll be like, "Well, we're still gonna throw it on there." Like, go for it, have fun.
Yeah, I know exactly what they do. Do you guys remember the original Suicide Squad movie, the really bad one? Do you remember what they did with Slipknot in that movie?
It was a good one.
Oh yeah, when he just like takes off, like he goes to just swing away and he just blows up.
They should do that to Rachel Zegler. They should put her in there, prep her up to be the most important person in the show, and then immediately kill her.
That was the only comic book accurate thing they did in that movie. It was crazy. Other people didn't like the only thing comic accurate they did at all. They blew up that guy's head. What a
people are kind of hoping they do that with Snow White because that would be like.
Oh shit! You hope she gets slip knotted.
All of a sudden, she just gets shanked by the real princess. She gets kissed by the real prince. People would be like, dude, you're not gonna see this shit coming. You gotta see Snow White. Like, you just have to see it.
I tell people this: go watch Mirror Mirror. Mirror Mirror only came out like literally a decade ago. Mirror Mirror was great. Imitation of Snow White. Great number. Great movie. Actually use, real dwarf people, not CGI dwarfs. They inadvertently put in the movie.
How much did you get paid for that, MSK?
No. I want to point out
proportional to their height.
I want to point out one thing. These CGI dwarfs weren't in the movie before. They actually made a movie where it was Snow White and the 7 DEI hires because they literally did not want to hire dwarf people. These Disney, the company that apparently loves inclusivity and different people. No, they don't. Why do people believe that? They lie so hard. We'll use one example. T'Challa, okay? Apparently they love black people. They have a black character that everyone apparently loves, right? But they refuse to recast him. But they love black people. Like,
and
who's buying this shit?
And Chadwick Boseman's wife said he wanted you to recast when he died. We are okay with this.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? I get it. Marvel
he would sit there and say how important it is for black children to see that. And it's like, dude, honor the man's wishes if you're gonna sit there and say you're honoring him. Come on. You made a whole movie about it almost.
Like I get it. Marvel doesn't really typically recast, even when you look at like
the bullshit.
Movies, but you have to recast at some point. I think if they die,
recasted Rhodey in like one movie. Like,
right. They technically swapped out a black guy.
Also, wait a second. They
look like garden
gnomes. Half Latino for a full black. They were racist.
They recasted that half Latino. They recasted the original the Ant-Man daughter. They recasted her like 3 times.
Yeah.
3 times. The little girl. Then you had the girl that was in Endgame. Then you had the new girl, Catherine Newton, in Ant-Man 3. They tell me they can't recast. I'm talking just for the MCU. They did a lot of recasts for the MCU, but back older Marvel movies didn't really recast that much. But even so, like if someone's dead, it's like, so now we apparently can't have any more new Black Panther because this one guy did it.
We will.
It's crazy.
We will. His kid in about 20 years. Or
it's not just recasting.
Or by Avengers Doomsday, his kid will be the new Black Panther. He'll be 6 years old. He'll be part of the Femvengers who are all like 22 and younger.
Yeah, no,
they might be able to do it with the introduction of Fantastic Four because Fantastic Four sounds like it's going to be in an alternate universe.
Yeah, like a time travel type thing. Yeah.
Well, they're like, oh, it's the 70s, but it's the 70s if things went right. Now we're 60s, like way 60s, ahead 60s. In technology. Is it 60s? 60s.
Yeah.
But it's like it still looks more futuristic than anything we got going on now.
Well,
so
you see,
definitely not the same world.
In that reality, Germany won because if that had been happening in real life, we would be so technologically advanced right now because the Germans were like fucking way beyond anything we were doing.
2 years ago, 2021, 2022, William Hurt, who was eventually going to be Red Hulk, passed away. He died. Then less than 4 months, he died of like pancreatic cancer or whatever.
Yeah,
really, that sucks. They recasted him. Because the only argument that people had was that, well, he just died. It's too soon. They recasted him in 4 months after he died of cancer. That was even less time than T'Challa.
And we forgot one. We forgot one. The Hulk.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that was technically in 4 years. Well, 3 years.
But still, they recast him.
Yeah.
Also, that movie.
You see, there's a reason why they didn't recast T'Challa. And that was because they saw an opportunity to have a female superhero.
That's
the reason. What an easy way to shoehorn that character in there. Like, oh,
yes. That was the agenda. Kevin Feige said they wanted to take half of their superheroes and make them female, and they saw an opportunity to do it. So they said, oh, well, we're not going to recast because we want to honor Chadwick Boseman. Just like you said, there's all these other examples of them recasting. Really no problems with it, but they saw an opportunity to have a female-led character.
I just want to point out, he really honored William Hurt. Hey, my actor just died of cancer. 4 months later, man, new white guy in there. You really honored your fucking actor then. He just died of cancer. The same thing.
Almost it's like, oh, God, that sucks. What's Harrison Ford doing right now?
What the
He's done shitting on Star Wars, so they bring him something else to get shit on in 2 years.
What's crazy is that both of those guys died of cancer.
I hate the Marvel series
universe. Like, hey, if I'm going to do this character, you also have to kill this character too, just like Hans.
I also want to point out, because people use the Shuri.
He's going to die.
I also point out this, because this is how you know people don't read comics and just probably just read shit on Twitter. That story that people say, well, Shuri's Black Panther, the comic books. Okay. Now, if you do not apply the context to that, Shuri is Black Panther in that story, but T'Challa isn't dead. That story is actually by Ta-Nehisi Coates. She's not. T'Challa is alive in that story, so that doesn't even make logical sense. Yeah, that doesn't even make logical sense. So she gets to be Black Panther in Black Panther 2 because T'Challa's dead, but even in that story, he's alive. So people are like,
I don't even care. I don't care. I don't care if it happened in the comics. You know what happened in the comics? Lois Lane race swapped herself by a magic machine in the Fortress of Solitude because she wanted to see what it was like to be a black person in the 1940s.
Hell yeah.
It was the 60s. It's actually really funny. Superman, in the comics, Superman has a power, right? Where he can shoot mini Superman out of his hands, who can do things like lift other objects. Does that need to be in the movies? Fuck no.
Yes.
Just because it happened in the comics. Okay, yeah, no, that one does. That one.
That's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm not watching the next Superman unless that's happening. It's just out. Sorry, guys.
My bad.
You convinced me not to watch it.
Just because it happened in the comics does not mean it has to happen in the movies. That is an idiotic slippery slope.
The other people that use that are like, well, what happened in the comics? I love comics. Obviously, read comics a lot. I literally am reading another one right now. There are things in comics that just because they happened doesn't even mean they were liked by the people who were reading them. Why does that automatically a thing in normie, like not normies, I would say just average people's brains? They go, what happened in the comic books? Do you know if that was even a liked thing? Because just because it happened in the comics doesn't mean it was well received or well liked. Right. It's like, are we living in Twilight Zone where we're the only sane people and we're talking to retards every day?
Yeah. Now, Tony made a good point, and I agree with him to an extent. I like Shuri from the comics. Not as Black Panther. I didn't like her in the movie because from the start she was like, I'm a teenager smarter than anyone in this room. Like, she was just a fucking bitch about it, you know? But it was, again, it was showing us the doors cracking open. It was a door cracking open to women are going to shit on men and treat all the men like idiots and take over. You know, like a 80-pound chick is going to, take out these 280-pound muscle dudes.
I thought it was black accuracy.
No. But there's someone to touch off what Sci-Fac said earlier. You said, I forgot how you put it now because it's been a while, that there's not much to pull from.
Oh no, there's plenty to pull from. They're just not choosing any of that. All the stuff that they are choosing from is all. It's all.
Well, I was just saying, like, dude, just the fucking X-Men have like the X-Men alone have like 8 or 9 different massive storylines.
They got like 100 years, not hundreds, but like 100 years worth of some of this stuff.
Yeah, but they have like 8 massive storylines that were fucking well loved by the fans. That can be 8 different fucking series, movies, trilogies for you. You got it right there. It's right here. Just take it.
Or I also point out, the other thing to go off of was that, for the MCU, they can recast pretty much everyone but this guy, and it's like, so it has to be one of two things. Either maybe it's just Ryan Coogler, and he just doesn't want to recast his friend yet. He hasn't moved on yet, which is understandable, I guess. Or
just make Robert Downey Jr. Black Panther and give him, the face from Tropic Thunder, like we all know he should. And then,
or I would say, are they really scared of social media that much now? Well, if we recast them, the social media backlash is going to be pretty big. It's like these guys have did stupid things in wake of social media backlash. There's no way because keep in mind, getting Shuri as Black Panther, that second Black Panther movie, obviously, I think it still bombed. If you really look at the actual numbers the marketing and the budget, the movie still almost made $1 billion. So you're telling me you still couldn't have recasted him and not make the same amount of money? Like, what are we doing here? It's perfect opportunity.
It's funny because you mentioned the social media backlash. If there was a social media backlash, that might almost guarantee you that your movie's going to be a success. Because if everybody's talking about it, people want to go see it.
Yeah.
They want to know what the big deal is.
Like, are they essentially saying no other black men beside Chadwick can play Black Panther? That's essentially what they're saying. No other black man is good enough. I'd be a little discriminatory there.
Well, that's what they're saying, but that's not really what they meant. Again, it simply has to do with that they wanted Shuri to be Black Panther.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? What's fucking hilarious to me and like makes me almost like laugh because how stupid it is. If they just took the stories from the comics, that I mentioned earlier, all you guys are like nodding. Y'all agree. Y'all see these things. Y'all would love to see these storylines on the screen. You know who else is going to see these storylines? That small portion of the new audience you want to bring in, our girlfriends, wives, boyfriends, our kids. We're going to bring them into the fold. They're going to start enjoying these things too. If you just stick to what's already fucking there, you'll bring in the next generation, the next generation, and probably the next generation. Because my kids are going to show the original MCU movies to their kids, more than likely, and then they're going to show it to their kids. They're going to stop at Phase 4, probably.
What?
I don't care if she does. She can date whoever they want.
Man, that sucks. I feel bad for her.
They'll probably stop watching at Phase 4 or and whatever.
When your kids are 18, they'll be at Phase like 10. They'll have to start from the beginning. Oh no!
Only one of my kids. They're 5, 9, 9, and 12. Only one of them actually likes the Phase 4 stuff. The other three thinks it's fucking dog shit. They hate it. They're like, this is stupid. Why they got rid of Thor? Why they get rid of all the characters?
Yeah, or another thing. Let's just say this, because the MCU has a lot of fans still to this day because they built up their universe.
We still have hope that they could bring it back.
That's the Marvel thing.
It's a very small hope.
It'll come back, man.
It's still there.
You have dudes who are like, oh my god. It'll be just like how it was back in Civil War and Infinity War and Endgame days, bruh. He told me literally, I think it was a friend of mine. He's like, man, stick around, man. It's gonna get good again. It's like, when is it getting good again? Because I've been here forever, so I know when it's good.
Yeah. You're telling me that? Where's the light on the horizon? Where?
People are saying that it's like we've been here. I was literally alive when it first started. I know when it was good. What are you telling me when it gets good? It's good. It's over. We're not getting good anymore. We're at the shit phase now.
I would say this is one of the issues with Marvel Rivals is I've been looking at some of the interaction online. It's like they have a lot of niche characters like Magic, Cloak and Dagger. But like, I really want to learn about these characters. And like, a lot of people are going to go and watch and read a lot of really shitty stories to learn about these characters that they just discovered.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yep. But at least
I'll say Cloak and Dagger TV show, I don't remember being very good either.
Yeah, Cloak and Dagger, that was a TV show. I remember. Yeah,
the only thing I liked about it was it was set in Louisiana. The only thing I liked about it was that.
Wait, so you're saying representation does matter to you, Darnell?
Fuck off.
Remember the Inhumans? Or that was?
My
god! The only thing I liked about Inhumans is that I didn't watch it. In fact,
I
did drive by the landfill the other day.
I remember being thankful for that at Thanksgiving. So you're right.
No. I feel like a bad Marvel fan because out of all the shit we've talked about over the past 2 years since I've met you, MSK, there's one thing we've never talked about. I've seen no one talk about: the Runaways.
Oh yeah,
that was a Hulu 2 or 3 season show, complete and total dog shit.
No, I told you guys this. I didn't really watch any of those like Netflix Marvel shows because I didn't feel like they were canon to the MCU. Obviously, I was a stupid idiot back in the day for not doing that. But I didn't watch any of the. I didn't watch Luke Cage, Jessica, the Jessica show, the one that won the shit.
I thought Jessica Jones was dog shit. I hated Jessica Jones.
Season 1 was pretty decent.
It was so boring to me. It was so boring. Like the whole show was, I don't want to be a superhero. I don't like being a superhero. She was
like that, and then
I'm gonna go get drunk and not be a superhero. That's all.
That's when they started to turn into. That's when they all started to turn into like Iron Fist because it's like a lot of people like Iron Fist.
I liked Iron Fist. I loved it. But
it's like I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
It had
action. I thought that's when it turned. Man.
I just like watching him walk around saying, "I am the immortal Iron Fist."
That was awesome.
That's when he would introduce himself to everybody.
I am the he liked Luke Cage. I was like, I saw a trailer of it. Looked like trash.
Dude, Luke Cage was good. The first season was good. Oh, okay. The second one kind of dipped off, but the first one was really good.
I'll be honest here.
Until they killed Cottonmouth, then it kind of fell off.
When those shows were around, I was more of a CW fan. I thought that their shows were just a little bit more better.
Yeah,
I was probably an idiot for thinking that too.
No, I just like seasons Shield the first couple of seasons, but
first couple of seasons, those CW shows were great. And then they just
I remember when I watched the first 7 episodes, but they only focused on that girl dating her ex-boyfriend. I dropped out. I used to watch it live and used to be on TV back when it dropped. Dropped out after episode 7. I thought it was so bad. I thought it was such garbage.
I forget the episode, but when what's his face turned on the whole team, the season finale,
that was great.
I was done. I was done. I was like, fuck this, I'm done.
I actually liked that. Because
the show was fine until they did the whole change where they introduced the Inhumans. That's when it went to shit.
Yes, that's where I started.
A few of the episodes where they had when they had Ghost Rider on there. Some of those Shield episodes were cool.
I watched it. I didn't like them.
Just because I like the car and the way that he lived and stuff, I was like, some of this is okay. Not every episode, but there was a couple scenes where I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That looks pretty cool, man. They did pretty cool shots.
Yeah,
but
no, I mean,
overall,
when he turned on him, I was with a buddy. I was like, I was like, didn't I call this episode 1? I called the entire show. I was like, man, they're using every fucking trope that's used every fucking show. They're not doing anything that's like comic related. It's all like, you know what's coming before the episode even starts. That's
the reason I liked it was because it fit in with what they were doing with the Winter Soldier. So that's why I liked it.
And they actually referenced the Dark World, and they had Sif in a couple episodes.
Yeah. What's it called? The Winter Soldier is still my favorite MCU film. And so that's my favorite. I'm not saying it's necessarily the best. It's my favorite. And so because of that, I liked what they did with Agent Ward and whatnot, just because it ties into what I liked. But
I got you.
So, but yeah, after a while, I started losing interest. Like you said, Arza, when the Inhumans started coming into it and whatnot, I was kind of like, okay.
That was a Kevin Feige thing, because the guy, Ike Perlmutter, him and Kevin Feige, people know were clashing. I mean, Ike Perlmutter, people say he said racist things. He didn't. He was just trying to tell Kevin Feige, the direction you're taking the MCU was not going to be a good one. Keep in mind, Kevin Feige wanted the MCU to look like this. It's his fault things got good, but it's also his fault things turned to shit. He wanted the MCU to look exactly like this, and Ike Perlmutter said, no, I don't want it to look like that.
It's not like he read my DMs to MSK here or something, It's nothing like that. It's nothing anywhere as heinous as that.
No, dude, Ike Perlmutter is so big.
But yours to MSK is to you.
I was bring up Ike Perlmutter is Ike Perlmutter.
The weird part is he sends me the worst black jokes. It's crazy.
Earlier this year, when Ike Perlmutter resurfaced, remember how he said, "I don't want to." He said, "I don't want to watch a movie that is just full of black people." What a base thing to say.
No, same. I agree.
Yeah, he said, "I don't want to go to a movie theater and watch a movie that is just full of black people. I don't want to go there and see woke shit." Like, and then someone was like, "There's never been a movie in the MCU just based around black people."
There's literally one called Black Panther. You have a resume to join their gang, and it's not for the MCU, dude. Don't send that resume.
White guy. They had a token white guy in the first movie.
I go with blue eye.
Yeah.
I'm not. I remember I did a video on that. I almost had to choke up from laughing. I was like, "Holy shit! This man just went off so hard." Because remember, Kevin Feige wrote a book about it. I think someone wrote a book about it. Like, oh my god, the shit with Star Wars at the time, where the reason why they're releasing these many Star Wars movies is because they just love seeing the box office numbers opening weekend for some reason. Like, they weren't even really making it because they wanted to. They just like seeing the big numbers. It's like, man,
jerk off material for them nowadays.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
Well, not anymore. Now, the numbers aren't big at all.
And now you can't even have Ike Perlmutter on a Disney board, because they had that board meeting earlier this year because
he stepped down, didn't he?
Oh no, he was gonna have someone in there do it for him, but they didn't want any ties to Ike Perlmutter. It's like the legendary thing he said. He said nobody wanted to watch female superhero movies. Now, to be fair, he wasn't wrong. He's not wrong.
I think he was talking about I think he was talking about action, or like girls don't want to play with toys. Like, they don't want to play with the toys.
He said that guys didn't want to basically go see a movie based around characters like female characters like Black Widow, Captain Marvel. Because remember, after Ike Perlmutter left, we got a Black Widow movie. But he wasn't wrong though. Like, outside of
Black Widow was highly in demand if they would have done it back in like 2010 or something,
and it was early
good on,
and if they hadn't changed Taskmaster, who was a major villain.
Yeah, they messed up that whole
wrong though. Like, let's be honest here. Like, most female super movies are, even outside the guy ones, are just abysmal dog shit. Like most of them are bad. Like
because they don't actually build them up. They just basically treat them as like male characters, and they're just I'm just as good as a dude. And it's like even the dudes still have to earn it. Like Iron Man is a great example where he's like, he comes back this huge redemption arc, realizing like, the stuff that I'm selling is actually this huge problem. And he comes back with a big redemption arc. He's not just super badass. I mean, he's very smart, sure, but it still takes him a second to get there.
He's got a lot of flaws.
He earns the journey, yeah. But most of these, like Captain Marvel is a great example where it's like, oh, you were actually just great all along, and it's like, what? That's that's not how these journeys work, man. Like
the first Wonder Woman is an example of how they did it right for the most part. Now we can argue about the third act not being that good, but she's a character who's naive to the ways of the world. Yet she's not. They don't turn her into a man. Let's put it that way. She's still a feminine character for the most part. She's got her superpowers, but she's naive to the ways of the world, and she has to learn that it's not just so black and white. There's a lot of nuance to people, and things are not quite what they seem. And so she goes on a redemption arc to learn more about humanity as well.
Also a fish out of water story.
Yes, a fish out of water. Perfect. And so that was an example of where they did a female-led superhero film right. And it helps that Gal Gadot is easy on the eyes. So, I mean, that helps.
It's not that she can act.
Yeah,
she cannot.
But you know what? Here's the thing.
You don't need her to for the first movie. The second movie needed some acting.
Yeah. She was able to do well enough for that first movie. And I think that some of that was... I don't know. The direction was better.
It almost kind of helps at not being able to act in the first movie because that fish out of water thing kind of works for the first movie. But now it's like, now you're a little more adapted. Like you've adapted to this society a little bit.
I found the quotes that one of his friends made earlier this year when I did, because I remember I went over this in a video. He said people go to watch a movie or show to be entertained. They don't go to get a message. Why do I have to watch a Marvel that's all women? Not that I have anything against women, but why do I have to do that? Why can't I have Marvels that are both? Why do I need an all-black cast?
I mean, the dude's straight up based, but yeah.
That's just based, man. I mean, like, why? Keep in mind, because guys are so goofy like that. Man, I would love to see a female lead a super movie. No, you don't. You're just fucking weirdly. That's one where it's like, okay, maybe you're weirdly horny. Why? I don't need female-led any super movies.
Scientists have looked into it. Men can relate to women characters far better than women can relate to male characters.
It's true.
Men have no issues watching shows and movies with female protagonists so long as it's of good quality. Whereas women find it significantly harder to relate to male protagonists.
I'm a huge horror movie fan, man. And who are the main protagonists in almost every horror movie?
Women.
It's usually always women. It's always like 99% women win the day. They
it's so prevalent that there's a
and
term
I still like them.
The trope is the last girl. Like, it's literally the thing about horror. Or final girl, I think it is.
Final girl.
Yeah.
And it tends to work.
This is a quote.
You would know that if you watch more movies.
According to the Financial Times, when Don Cheadle,
I learned that in a film class, bitch.
Here, hold on. Here was it. Okay, I found it. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! I Perlmutter. Why do you gotta? He might be my dad. I love this guy.
You wish, then you'd be half white.
According to the Financial Times, when Don Cheadle was hired at a much cheaper rate to replace Terrence Howard in the Iron Man franchise, Perlmutter allegedly told former chairman of Disney Consumer Products Andy Mooney, good Lord, that no one would notice because black people look the same. He's right though. How many people thought it was just Terrence Howard, but he's darker? Come on, man. I wasn't the only person who thought that. I was like, this guy's just blacker.
I didn't think that.
Yeah,
actually, people of all races are blind to the facial features of different races. So, like, MSK sees Darnell Steffex's meme as all just different levels of fat. I thought we're the same guy.
Different levels of white people. Like I said, I'm white guy number 3 in like every video game. That's my shtick. And it's like, Darnell's is like 4 and ours is the gay dude. It's fine. Like,
God, man. God, Lord, man. Woo!
You're right, though, Arza. You're absolutely right, bud.
I Perlmutter.
It's a scientific fact.
Yeah.
Wait, do I sound good?
She's not invited to us. It's probably just because you're talking out of your ass.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Good Lord.
No, I think he's just mad that you're making it a sound like he looks like you, and he wants no association with that.
Yeah, MSK, stop trying to sound like us.
Good Lord, man. Okay.
Wow.
Wow. He's racially appropriating me.
No, you're appropriating us.
He appropriated the gays. Right. I mean, you might as well just start appropriating racists too now.
Not fucking Tuesday.
He's not appropriating the gays. He's one of us.
No,
just whitewashing the stream all the time, man. Jeez, man.
Oh god,
MSK, he's too busy talking white. He ain't black enough.
I just want to point out, tomorrow's obviously the last day of the year, so this is the last Monday of the year. We had a lot of journey here on the show.
A lot of fun.
Some people are here, some people aren't here. You're obviously getting some new faces, just like a casting director.
Actually, everyone's the same. We just changed our usernames, and you never noticed.
Yeah, because we all look the same to you.
We're like Don Cheadle and Terrence Howard.
Oh no! Yeah.
Hey, this is really Iron.
This is really
Jack and Emerald. This is really insert any other white guy.
I found an actual barber. I just got a way different haircut. You never noticed.
The reason why he didn't say I was another one of the guys is because that would be insulting to them.
That would be. That would be. You can't be around us boys.
No, people's journey took them down different roads, and that's fair. Everyone grew. People are growing. We all grew.
Yeah. And so I know I got some heat for some of the comments that I made toward a certain person. I will say this. This is the reason why I did it. And it's not actually to hurt anyone's feelings. I have nothing against women, actually. I actually want women to fulfill their full potentials, and I want women to be like less retarded
in their kitchens.
A great thing. I want us, that if we're doing something this year, because keep in mind, guys, we're all like old at this point. Like, we're old at this point now. Let's get some stuff done. Like, if we have something that we're trying to do, and if we see there's a problem, talking about it is perfectly fine. I have no problem with that. But
that's
can we actually
man.
fix
Darnell's like he's like just a rough 28. What are you talking about? No.
I'm 18. I work night shift for 6 weeks.
And that's what happens when you watch all the MCU shows.
He works 48 hours a day, and you'll never understand.
Like, that's all I want.
And Shimmy's still the harder job.
I just want us to, like, if we identify a problem or if you have one, let's try like fixing it. Like we don't have much time on this planet. Just pointing out, anything could happen. Literally anything and everything potentially could happen. Let's try fixing things and then let's get them done. That's it. So that was my goal with those certain comments. It wasn't to like hurt anyone's feelings. My goal isn't actually hurt anyone's feelings. My goal is to essentially just like, be honest about, hey, we don't got too much time on this planet
jumped
left.
on this podcast to try to hurt your feelings, so I don't know what you're going at here right now.
Okay, you're not making a good case for yourself tonight. Just pointing out there.
Hey, stop making us look bad, Cyfax. You can't tell us apart.
Apologizing is for homosexuals.
Well, that's why if I say that enough, he's just going to kick you off and not me because he's not going to know who said it. No.
Oh, God, man. Jeez. I got an IMDb.
Now you're muted.
You're muted.
Tony, to be fair, I'm still waiting for my paycheck from 2 years ago.
I paid you guys in clout.
My first.
You got paid in. What was the thing that bands used to say back in the day? You got
experience.
Paid in exposure. Yeah, paid in exposure. Oh my God, that's.
But you see, I'm not trying to start my own channel and get my own shit. I'm here.
You already have your own channel. You fucking liar.
Well, I do now.
I simply started one just because the people that I'm around, like in my real life all the time, they were just like, dude, you're on here talking to us in person all the time. Just jump on a mic. And I was like, well, it gives me another hour or two to go bullshit with some of my friends on camera and then do a few reviews and stuff. It's like, hey, if it ever takes off, great. If it doesn't, also great. It's fine. It's not gonna.
That's how I feel. I'm hanging out with people who have similar interests. That's
so long
like
as it doesn't keep me from
literally
we're good.
Yeah,
if eventually I make $1 off of this, that's perfect.
Because people think we're just an echo. It's like, no, I mean, people disagree with me all the time here. No one disagrees about the
but it's
stuff
only disagreement with you, though.
Yeah, just me. It's only, good Lord, man. It's like, I know people agree with me when I say these things about modern women. You guys, modern women are trash. Like, why do we even fucking, like, we know they're dog shit.
And yet you guys think it's weird to not be into them. Come on.
And then they're like, I disagree with everything you say about women. All right, tell me what you but you're just too mean on them. It's like, all right.
Yeah, stop being so sexist.
I love being sexist. Sexist makes the world go around. You know what's crazy? Speaking of disgustingly trash modern women, I know you guys saw that recent thing with the Taliban. The Taliban, literally, I would say, actually hates their women. So I think I bookmarked this for the last thing we'll talk about for the show for the next 30 minutes before we end. So, women are like, oh my God, America's so bad. We have no rights here, blah, blah, blah. Guys, in the Taliban, they just recently passed this law a few months ago before this new one, where women are not even allowed to have basic human contact with each other, like talking. That's ridiculous. You can't have that.
Thank God.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm just saying, when women here are like, I have no rights, my abortion.
Imagine literally banning book clubs. Because there ain't no way men doing book clubs.
Hey, go fuck.
I know some people who are in book clubs.
I like book clubs.
Any men willfully?
I would do a sci-fi book club with you guys. I love fucking reading shit like that, man.
I'm currently reading the new Brandon Sanderson book, but this thing is massive.
Is for
it's going to take me forever.
I'm still in the fence with him after the Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time kind of like.
Well, I mean, him just finishing something. His actual his own stuff. It's the fifth book in the Stormlight Archive. So it's
okay.
Which just came out, but I
think I have those
1,350 pages, man. It's brutal.
No, goddamn. The Wheel of Time books are 1,000 pages, and I could tear through it like it's nothing. That's nothing.
Oh yeah, no,
you guys are nerds.
Man, imagine
I went through those pretty quick.
So we had the Taliban have banned the construction of windows that allow women to be seen in the kitchen or courtyard of neighboring houses. This further restricts women's freedom.
You need to stop, man. I can only get so hard. No, I'm kidding.
Oh God. And then you had J.K. Rowling. So you had J.K. Rowling coming out, and she was like, why don't we have more people fighting for women's freedoms? Now, J.K. Rowling obviously makes good comments about troon people. I'll give her that. But this is the thing.
She's a hardcore leftist.
So when it comes to certain things with men, apparently we were told women don't need men. Women can do everything on their own. So if women care about other women so much, why not go over to the Taliban and fight for them then? Why do you need men to go and die freely for you?
Because that's Islamophobic.
True.
The gays for Afghanistan.
Fuck you. So it's one of those
queers for Palestine. Queers for.
You know what's crazy? It blows my mind that women are like, oh my God, this country, America's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Go look over there then. It's so bad over here. You can't even talk to a woman. That's what I would call okay, that's a little too
I can't
far.
talk to women anyway. What's your point?
Okay. Oh, good Lord.
Wait, over there, you'll get
not having the ability to and not being allowed to are two different things.
Can't and won't are two different things.
Yeah.
I'm celibate by choice. Just saying,
Yeah, it's not your choice, but it's a choice.
Oh my gosh. I'm just pointing out, women are like, oh my God, we have it so bad over here. Those women, they're in so much pain. All right, go over there and do something about it. Yeah, but I kind of just want to talk about it on social media because I actually don't live by anything I actually preach about, and I just want men to go do all my fighting for me. I thought women don't need men and can do anything they want. Huh? Crazy how that works, right?
This new age of all the the women that say all this crap on the internet like that or whatever, they make all their little pro women stuff, which is fine. Do whatever you want. Guess what? You get the right to do that because you're here in America and you get to do that kind of shit. But the amount of bullshit and the hypocrisy that's usually behind it all is it's absurd. And it's you don't to not sit there and understand that the only reason you get to say what you're spouting out, even if we all think it's nonsense, doesn't matter. You still have the right to do that. But it's because you're here. Go over there, have fun with that. Good luck. Good luck with that. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. You speak out like that, you'll die. That guys and I ain't joking. They literally are banning women from making basic human contact. Now, I believe women should at least you should be able to have basic human contact with someone else. That's whatever, right? But it's just so weird that people say they have it so bad over here, and it's just like, bro, you don't know how bad you could have it over there. The
problem though is the arguments where they say it's so bad over here. It usually comes down to one or two issues, and they apply those one or two issues to everything, saying we're losing our rights, we're losing this. Really, it all
in
comes
their
down
specific
to
state that they're at somewhere, and
yeah,
it's like the worst is like, because I'm out here in California. I think a few of us are out here in California. I know MSK and stuff is, and Vulcan was before he left, but it's like the women out here that say shit like that. I'm like, you do realize you're still in a state that none of that shit's going away, because everyone's just going to vote for this stuff that you want. Now, if you go more towards like the Bible Belt and stuff like that, yeah, some of those things might be a little different out there. People believe a little bit differently out there, but you don't live there, so what the hell are you on about? It's wild to me. Wild.
Because they'll be like, well, women in third world countries, like, well, first of all, you don't know what a woman in a third world country goes through. Like, they would, by their logic, go through actual discrimination. That's how that would go. You experience none of that. You're just talking out your ass on TikTok with blue hair and a door ring out of your nose, saying how bad you have it in a car that you're paying the bills on. Oh, yeah, it's fucking hell, man. Why do we allow women to speak to us? It's like that should be a privilege in itself.
Okay, but here's the thing: in the act of defending women, you are now just making the same arguments as to why the Taliban doesn't let them talk.
Yes.
One hand, women should be allowed to talk. On the other hand, why do we let them speak?
I'm probably gonna do this now. You gotta pay to speak to me. Give me like $5. I'm charging a fee or something. God damn, man.
Let's go to therapist.
Why?
You would be better at it.
Yeah. But now, when J.K. Rowling is like, oh, we gotta do something about it. Like, send the men to go do it. What the fuck?
J.K. Rowling is a misandrist, and she disagrees with the far left on exactly 1 point, and they lose their mind because they lost their biggest soldier.
Good Lord.
Hey, to be clear, Michael, technically MSK did pay me in clout because he took me from 0 online friends to 30.
I think it was more us than him.
That's a good point. MSK introduced me to Darnell, who then got me all of my internet clout. There we go.
No, not me. Us.
All the women who hate men, say they're better than men, we can do anything a man can do, garbage, are crying their eyes out. No men will go to help Afghan women. These silly females think we can force the Taliban to do something without sending male troops. Yeah, the only way to make them change is if we would send like soldiers over there. That's it. They don't live in the real world. What are you going to do? Keep tweeting at them? They think you're a whore. They don't care what you say. Yeah, it's so crazy how we've never actually heard from them what they think about American women. I imagine it's not good things. You should imagine.
Well, you know what they think about the Queers for Palestine.
Oh, well, yeah, they throw you off buildings.
No, they literally blame Queers for Palestine, saying that Allah is punishing them because the degenerates support them.
Good Lord. Why don't these feminists pick up guns and go fight the Taliban? You demonize men all day, and now we don't give a shit about your plight. Be nice to us or suffer absolute ineptitude. As a woman, you have no weapons. You have no power without us men. You need us. Yeah, women like desperately need us. Keep in mind, people understand if men didn't actually build the world, we would have gone extinct. I'm not kidding. Women, who would think invented the wheel? Steel, chairs, buildings?
Can we go even more primal than that?
Sure.
I mean, without a man, without a woman, how are you going to procreate?
Okay, there's good Lord. Now he's doing it again. I'm
just pointing out. No one on this panel was going to do that anyway.
Hey, Bob and Darnell have kids.
That's right.
Like, I'm just pointing out, we do. I mean, who built skyscrapers, men? I'm pretty sure every single skyscraper ever built is built by a dude. Every office building, every gym.
You mean actual physically built or like design?
Actually, physical skyscrapers, the one that we see. All men built, I imagine.
To be fair,
those were non-binary transvestites who built those, and they were all black too.
Good Lord. I'm gonna kill this man.
No, you'd be able to go. Maybe not as primal as Darnell went there, but the thing is like all the stuff that gets enforced out here. The only reason it gets enforced, it's because of men. You're not going to send 30 women to go enforce a law and really get something done. All of a sudden, there's a 6'7" dude out there who wants his way. You got to send another man out there to handle that shit.
That's a 6 foot man is
by a
intimidating.
5'2" woman.
Yep.
It's not going to happen.
Well, you know how the women would get their way done. They'll just talk and talk and talk and not stop talking in the most annoying voice possible and keep talking until the men are so annoyed they have no choice, as it's the only way to shut them up.
Well, think of look at it this way. I heard Jeff Foxworthy say it this way: that if there's a strange noise in the middle of the night, it's still the guy getting up to go check it out. The ladies aren't going to check it out by themselves. They're sending the guy to go check it out, and there's a reason for that.
Good Lord, man.
It's also like men's brains. They're not hardwired to wake up when a baby cries at night, but men's brains are hardwired to wake up when there's a random noise like grass rustling at night.
Or maybe the reason why men are losers now is because of this guy. I don't know what else to do to not be misgendered. I've tried so hard. Nails, jewelry, hairbands, purse, hair, and still get called sir. Any ideas?
Oh, God. What the hell am I even looking at?
It's ma'am.
That's a ma'am.
Darnell, when did you start cross-dressing, sir? Like, what is that?
1995.
1995.
When it was still funny. No, I did. I've cross-dressed for like many occasions. Shaved my legs, fucking shaved, wig, makeup, nails, dude. I looked hot as a chick. I remember looking at the picture. I'm like, dude, I would nail myself.
You went for it.
I would nail myself.
Well, you do that anyway, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, dude, no. Even today,
so for research purposes, can I get a picture of that?
No,
they got destroyed in Hurricane Katrina. Everything got destroyed.
Sure,
it really did.
It's like what happened when
all my pictures and videos too, and I never lived there, but that's
I lost all my shit from my childhood in Katrina, all of it.
Oh God, man. Or earlier today, I was watching this black lady trying to talk to Charlie Kirk, and she was saying a whole lot of nothing. She literally said one of the dumbest things I ever heard. She said, "I was a liberal when it was cool." I'm not kidding. Actual words she said. I was like, when was it ever cool to be a liberal or a Democrat? Ever?
Actually, it was cool to be a Democrat back in the 90s, early 2000s, early 2010s.
Like, I think some of them get confused with a liberal and then like libertarian, because libertarian is more pro freedom and all that stuff. And some of
but
those
it has never been cool to be a libertarian. Everyone hates us.
You guys
small L, not big L. Small L.
I'm sure there was certain times where it was cool, like when, for example, when Clinton first was elected. You know, you had a president now is out there playing the saxophone, dancing on
Arsenio show.
Yeah. So and he was pushing the whole it's time for a change thing. You know, after you had just had 8 years of Reagan and 4 years of Bush. So you know, back there and then I could see where people would say, "Oh yeah, it was cool to be a Democrat or be a liberal."
Tell him, was it cool when when the KKK actually was formed by a Democrat? Democrats formed the KKK. Just pointing it out there. And what did Malcolm X say? He said, "Be aware of the white liberal." Why did he say that? Damn, crazy. He must have been this loony.
And then they killed
black
him.
Man.
Yeah, then they killed him. He was able to see 2020 white women.
He saw it 2024 before we saw it. What a genius, man. God, man. But hey, we're gonna wrap it up here in a little bit. Good Lord, the band is gone. So when I was able to like, speak, because they weren't playing music, obviously. But man, 2024 is over. So do you guys have anything you want to say as far as like goals you accomplish? I guess I'll start with myself, since I'm obviously the top G Riz Master, hottest, sexiest guy on the panel.
Obviously, yeah, definitely.
Best looking, biggest dick, most women.
Okay, that's not fair. You're black, of course you do.
Guys, bigger doesn't always mean better, man. I mean,
that's what girls want you to think.
No. Seriously. You could do a lot with a small one that you can't do with a big one.
That's called
remember, girls can only fit about 5 in there.
That's what small dudes with small dicks cope about that. Just pointing out there.
Bro, I don't care. I know it's small and I'm happy.
You have 5 inches. That's average.
Hey man, why do you think I picked up guitar for 20 years, man? I had to get good with I had to get good with something out here.
Just proving that you're good with your hands.
That's what I used to tell girls. Hey, playing trumpet, I'm good with my tongue and my lips are soft.
Hey, man, I play plenty of songs at 220 BPMs and faster. It's fine.
What did I start? So
20 faster.
This year for myself.
220.
This year for myself, I got the main channel that I have now given to me by the YouTube lords based off they removing my older big YouTube channel for hate speech, which didn't happen. I've always only had this channel. It was retconned out of existence. That other one I had that I built up for 9 years straight, and just all my hard work just down the drain over one night. Holy fucking shit. Good Lord. And then I came to live on a couch. Just kidding. So my new main channel that I have right now, we got to 1,000 subs. We were at 750 when I wanted 1,000. Now we're up to 1,000 plus. We're about to get monetized, so we'll be getting a paycheck from YouTube very, very soon if I can pass the review.
Wait, we?
Oh, me, obviously. You guys are worthless cloud chasers.
Can you just give me like a penny so I can say like I made money off of YouTube?
Unless you eat my ass
50 cents for avocado. 50 cents for avocado money, man. Come
on. I got
like $12 there, right?
I got my comic book channel.
Yeah.
I got my comic book channel to 100 subscribers. That was another goal. I wanted to start a comic book channel, to have a second one to talk about comics and manga. I did, and I'll be doing that similar thing with 2 other YouTube channels for 2 other my interests 2025, and that's pretty much it. I wanted to get this new show to 100 episodes. We did. So yeah, everything that I set out to do, I did it. So in 2025, because I kind of failed on this in this year, content more consistently in a shorter time frame. That is my number one goal. Everything else I already did. Everything else I know I can achieve with just the year that I'm given. But maybe get the comic channel to 200 subs. This one's already going to grow. So no more channel sub goals. They're already as big as I need them to be. They'll just kind of grow over time now. But yeah, just want to be more consistent. That's it. And oh yeah, sorry. This show, 300 episodes. That's it. And obviously more movie reviews. That's what I really want to start getting back into. Me and Nate were supposed to do one this week, but he lied to me because he said he had to work. White guy working.
You mean like if he told you he was watching The Union?
Yeah, we're gonna get to that one because Nate, we're gonna get to that one eventually. I would never lie. I will never ever lie. Let's start with Bob. Did you achieve any of your goals you wanted to do this year?
Actually, I'll say that it was much, much better than I could have ever anticipated. I started my channel back in February, and I kind of did it because a couple of friends of mine wanted to do a podcast, and so we started a channel for that. Well, when we decided to do it, I thought, okay, well, I'll go ahead and do a main channel for myself, and the channel Bob Loves Movies on YouTube. Last I checked, it was at 989 subscribers, and I had I had 2 videos go over 30,000 views. One of them is closing in on the 40,000 mark. And then I had a couple other videos hit real well, and those gave me this rush on subscribers that I was not expecting. And so February will actually make a year, and I'd love to get to that 1,000 mark before I hit the full year, because that's beyond what I could have ever expected. And then on my second channel, on Dad's Turn to Talk, my friends and I, we just broke 100 subscribers, and we had a video that we did a trailer reaction to the Superman trailer, and that got close to 4,400 views. And same thing, we got a rush on subscribers, and that helped push us over that 100 sub mark. So with both channels, it was beyond what I could have expected. We also had a couple of cool guests. We interviewed Omid Abtahi, who played Dr. Pershing on The Mandalorian. We also interviewed, like I said, we interviewed Ben Rock. And so we've done some stuff over on that channel that I, again, would have never expected for a channel our size to be able to do. And so, yeah, I went above anything I could have imagined for 2024. And hopefully 2025 will be just as good or be twice as productive.
Cyfax, what about you?
Well, I was able to hit a goal that I didn't think I was going to do, which was 100. I just wanted 100. I've only been doing this about 2.5 months now, a little over 2.5 months. And I've been on a bunch of, a lot of people have been asking me to be on streams, which has been really cool. But I'm going to try to expand the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, probably more into anime stuff, because I watch a lot more of that. And do that. I'm trying to figure out how to set up streams and stuff, just to throw out maybe just do an hour every other day or something like that. Talk about whatever the pop culture news is of the week. So there's some people out there that do that, but I don't know. Now that I have some people that actually watch my channel, that'd be cool But by this time next year, or actually, like say when my 1 year mark comes up, to have a minimum of 500 would be cool. But if I can get monetized by then, that'd be pretty sweet. That'd be cool. But I'm keeping it realistic, and I'm gonna say about 500. We'll go with that. That'll be the next kind of bigger goal. And then just go from there. And there's a lot of decent stuff coming out this year, or maybe hopefully decent stuff coming out this year. And then you know how the news goes, man. Sometimes there could be wild stories that break, and just maybe be more on top of stuff like that. Get better with OBS. Yeah. I'm not very good with computer stuff, so
dude, I used OBS too for my news videos. I could show you in like less than 10 minutes. It's super.
Yeah, you want to hit me up?
I'm getting better at it, but it's taken me a minute. And my computer, my biggest problem is my computer is slow. Like
if you have StreamYard, you can record the YouTube videos there. Like
I haven't paid for StreamYard, and it's because like I just don't do enough on it other than when I'm on people's streams. So for me, OBS and like CapCut, it's all free so far.
Oh, switch to DaVinci. It works infinitely better.
I'll have to check into that. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me though.
All right. Arza, what about you, man? Did you achieve everything you wanted to achieve by being a fraggot?
Yep. By being a homosexual, I managed to achieve everything I wanted. MSK confirmed. But no, I mean, so the biggest thing that I achieved is I just start. You know, I've been thinking about doing it for a little while because I've been watching this content for like 4 years. So I'm like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to hit record. And if it's bad, so what? Maybe I'll be the only one to see it. And then 4 days after that is when MSK found me, asked me to be on his show. And I think mistakenly said yes. But then on top of that, I hit my goal. I had a goal towards the end of the year of hitting 200. I hit 210 on December 15th, which was only 3 months after I started. So I've been taking the rest of the rest of the holidays off. I've been taking a break from the holidays, and I've also been on a bunch of streams, which is my other goal. So I hit all of my goals, and I'm hoping by this time next year I will have at least hit that 500 subscriber mark, if not more. And I've gotten in contact with some incredibly big streamers, and I'm really hopeful that by this time next year I get a chance to actually do something with some of those guys I've talked to.
Cool, man.
That sounds kind of cool and gay at the same time. I don't know.
And if you take the year off and just watch movies, it would still be a success.
And I'm going to do
more about what we all know about already. No,
there are 2 things that I actually want to do next year, especially. I have 2 shows in mind. The first one is getting Full Metal Nate, me, Von Coleman, my friend Mr. Hat, and a bunch of other Gen Z guys, and get us all together to watch old movies and discuss old movies as to how they stand up today.
Wait. What's considered old movies to y'all?
Oh God!
Anything that came out before we were born, because we're all Gen Z. So anything that is older than like 95.
We're old.
Anything we like, Darnell is.
Yeah, we're old.
We're officially old now, boys.
We're like Tom Holland's where he says, "Hey, you remember that really old movie, The Empire Strikes Back?"
Literally, the best idea.
Watch Tammy and the T-Rex, then you'll feel old.
He even hit me with that. He even hit me with that when I was born in '89, so I'm right at the cusp there. But
yeah,
we're like, okay, he considers us old guys. All right, Darnell, what about you, man?
Man, look, I just went into this year having fun talking to fucking people, man. I'm a people person. I love talking to people. I love like just having fun and laughing, man. And throughout the year, I met a lot of really awesome, cool people, and it just started snowballing. And Mr. Berger, met him. He, hey, look, I want you to take over the Tuesday night quiz show. So I started doing that. I started a AI music channel, which I was like, my AI music, that's stupid. I spent like almost 17 hours nonstop, just like making shit. And I was like, man, I need to do this. And then, met a few people. I do the monthly table reads of Star Trek Next Generation episodes, which are goddamn hilarious. We did one last night. I don't know how we survived. Like, I don't know how I'd have a stroke and how much I laughed. I thought my time to stream was over because I was an old guy. But this year has given me some new perspective. Yeah, but this is giving me some new perspective. Because I used to stream on Twitch. I did it every night for a while, and then I just stepped away, and I'm enjoying myself. And I know I'm never gonna be an actor in Hollywood or be an actor in anything, but like I love being on camera. I love being in front of people. I love being like, hey, look at me, you know. And this is fun. I get to talk to friends and in person and in the chat. It's great. I love meeting people. So just to grow this, just to make more friends, have more fun, because at the end of the day, I just want to laugh and have fun. That's the most important thing to me.
I'm just saying, you know, I couldn't have done it without you guys, you know? And I just want everyone here, it's not even just about even reaching your goals. It's just that, you know, you gave your absolute best. So when we do this next year, hopefully the show falls in next year at the end of the year on a Monday.
We'll just watch him out.
You can look back in 2025 and go, I gave my absolute best, even though you might fall short of the goal. It's not just about getting the goals. We're like, did you actually give 100% of your best effort? And I'm not saying people aren't going to get sad during the year. It happens. You know, shit happens. You can lose loved ones, breakups, anything can happen. But I have to be honest, you need to just push through it. Because as men, we do better when we push through those things. We put our minds on stuff when we talk about things, you know, just if bad shit happens to you or you lose a loved one, channel that anger that you feel for that loved one and just put it into making more videos and content. Keep that person's memory alive for yourself, you know? We're going to the top, boys. Woo! Who's going to be on this hype train with me? Who's getting on the train? I'm giving out free tickets tonight. Let's go.
Woo! Yes, I'm
do it.
I am sure that
your train ran on him tonight is your wife, dude. But you already know that.
I'm making loud whistles on my 3D printer right now.
You know, like even if you're not a content creator, if you want to read a book series you want to do, if you want to go to the gym, keep in mind, guys, people die literally every day, and it can be so unexpected. I don't want that to happen to anyone. Obviously, we know.
Oh man, don't give me hope. No, I'm kidding.
I'm counting down the days.
We don't have too much time. I'm just saying. Some of you guys
I was
are already
spoken like a true Gen Xer, dude.
Some of you guys are already like 40. You ain't got a lot of time left. Let's start making stuff.
Oh my god, I wish I was only 40.
I'm on the wrong side of 30. I'm on the wrong side of 30. I get it.
I'm saying, man,
I will let you guys know when I get 40.
We got to make it work. You know, fucking hell. Like even
you might not be able to. Yeah, you might not be able to let us know, but you know,
I'll visit your graves. Right now, it's been so long since I've talked to you.
You know, and RJ is gonna put like a freaking dildo on our graves, and we're gonna be like, God damn it, we'll be hating him from the grave.
He's gonna film.
Maybe I'll be
he's gonna film
in the old folks' home when that happens.
We'll have to wheel you to get you to the show.
He's gonna film content on our graves.
This person was here when I was discovered and first started. He did everything to me.
He gets an
the worst
award.
part is it's going to be OnlyFans content, and nobody's going to like that.
That's what I was getting at.
He gets invited to like the Oscars. I'd like to thank Darnell. I met him, but he's in the grave right now. But I want to give him a super hard thanks.
He gave me shit for not watching movies,
and I still never watched them.
I've still only watched Office Space since I met him.
Like, I didn't leave flowers on his grave. It was just a list of all the shit I'm never going to watch. In his memory.
In his memory, the movies I never cared for to watch at all. And I lied to him.
I like all this, and I'm just going to shit all over him. No.
I might start a channel just to make him watch movies.
There you go.
God, man. And no, Bob needs to do this. Make a channel, a separate one called Bob Loves Porn, and just review porn movies.
Why? Oh, I don't
already do that.
If you go to somethingawful.com, it's really not a bad site, it's just a badly named site. They have this guy would every Wednesday would review bad porn. He'd go horrors of porn. You can watch his, and you can't watch, you can read his review of porn. And there's some dog shit out here. Reviews with penis hands, some clown porn where like this chick's like their dad's the clown. It's fucking weird, dude. But if you want to see some bad reviews, go read that.
Okay, here's a bad idea. You do a series, right? You review a movie and then you review the porn adaptation. And you compare them and see which one is bigger, which one's louder, and which one's better.
Oddly enough,
the Horrors of the Caribbean, that was pretty good.
No. Oddly enough, the Triple X version of the Marvels had more production quality to it.
Yeah.
Dude, so does the Justice League.
They're acting too.
They were acting in the Marvels.
The plot.
X
the dialogue was way better. The way it was way better in the Marvel's Triple X than the actual MCU movie.
Of liquids that the girls were producing in the X video. Just saying, a lot of licking going on there. A lot of.
I want to see the porn version of Venom Last Dance.
All right, so let's do outros. Holy shit, this guy's gay. Gay.
That's a different kind of black goo than you're expecting.
Oh no, that's gay. Oh god.
Hey, you want to know you old when you laugh and lean forward and you pinch a nerve in your back?
Yes, I killed Darnell. Let's go. I killed him.
You made him throw his back out before the beginning of the year.
I took my back out a few weeks ago. I'm never doing that again. That was so much pain.
It's not like you do it on purpose. It just happens.
I'm not gonna lie, it was so bad. I would stand up and then collapse afterwards. I had to crawl.
There.
It's bad. It's really bad.
One day I bent over to pick a sock up.
Man, no fun.
I picked a sock up off the floor. I was the only one home at the time. It was like 9 years ago. I bent over, picked the sock up, pinched a nerve. No one was home for 1 to 2 hours. I was stuck, bent over, standing by the bed. I couldn't even rock myself onto the bed. My ex-wife came home and she was like, "What are you doing?" I can barely breathe. I'm like, "I can't move." And she just kind of walked up and just pushed me on the bed.
What's up, Mike? How you doing, man? Dude, do you know how you throw out your back? Like you try to sit in a chair. Maybe sitting in a chair is even more painful. Oh my god, dude. Yeah. I try to put my legs up on my desk. That hurt. I had pain in a while. Good lord. There's nothing. Okay, so back pain or wrist pain are some of the worst ones to go through.
I got a nerve right here. I can barely hold the controller right now.
Not because I jerk off a lot. Not why.
No, that's what keeps my wrist from hurting.
Well, I mean, if you're going with Darnell's earlier problem where he says he has a small penis, I feel bad for your hand then, dude. Like, you got to grip it with the second one just to get the right grip?
I just go fingers. Just fingers. You know, you got like a dog with a small tail, you just grab it by the way, just 2 fingers. It's just 2 fingers.
It's like, you ever hold a roll of quarters? That's about what I'm working with. No,
this is the real.
As being generous. As being generous.
I'm working with 9 inches, so you guys gotta pray for me because I don't just stroke into a woman and just blow her apart. All right, so
Arza, where are you gonna get
Arza, what are you gonna do for the next year? I'll see you. To be fair, I'll literally see you guys next year. I'm not gonna see you guys again for.
Oh god, that's so.
Oh my god, it's gonna.
That's as cringeworthy as when a cop walks in the room and you say, "I didn't do it."
I'm not gonna lie, you did it. To be fair, he didn't say he didn't do it either,
But everyone,
the worst part is the last time that happened, I did do it, and he believed me, so it was great.
So, all right, Arza, what you got planned coming up for 2025 to start it off?
Well, I got to hop right back on the horse. But as soon as 2025 kicks off, I'm going to be coming back right out with more videos because I haven't been doing videos the last few weeks, which kind of sucks. Yay. I'm ready to do it. I've done one video since December 15th, and that was my Nosferatu review. So I need to get right back into doing videos. I missed a lot of news stories, but it's fine. I've had fun. There's some shows that I want to do, but that requires effort and doing stuff. And I'm above doing anything that takes effort. My channel literally says I will put 0 effort into this, but I kind of want to do some shows. Like I said, the one with Gen Zers coming together, and then something just
about you not watching movies.
Look, why would I watch a movie when I could turn into content instead? Okay,
Gen Zers coming together might sound like a porn review, so be careful with that.
We can do both. We can do both. We're all consenting adults.
Good lord, far right Gen Zers and far left are just coming together at the end of the year for a celebration.
That'd be funny.
Together. Yep. Now the other thing I want to do,
MSK's definitely existent wife.
The other thing I want to do is because there's just so much negativity right now. It's kind of hard to be a happy person in today's world. So I'm thinking if I can get some guys to do it, I have an idea for like Rogues Gallery happy hour. A bunch of people within the group come together. Once a week, different person hosts the show each week, and everyone just brings 1 or 2 happy stories, maybe bring a little bit of booze to drink and have some fun, and we just chill, talk, share some happy stories, share some funny memes. I think it'd be a great thing to change our image and get us all very much more rejuvenated and be a lot happier. But that takes
your content will bring the type of audience that matches that content. So if you bring positive content, you'll get positive and
this way also, because I think it'd be best if like everyone hosts it, have a different barman each week. That way we spread this to everyone's
when I'm in the chat, I'm gonna bring that shit down. No.
Before Darnell goes,
bring that.
Is Bob and Cyfax in the group?
What group?
I don't think they are. The group chat.
I don't believe so.
I don't know if they're in the Rogues.
No.
I think we have to ask Iron because last time I did, I got in trouble inviting Kaida, but Kaida's a white black guy.
You can do like you start one for your show, man.
I'm friends with Kaida. Like I know Kaida.
Just start one for your show, dude.
I'm not.
Iron did.
The thing is, I'm not good at running group chats like that.
Just start it. It's all you got to do.
I'm just terrible at responding to stuff. Arrow? Like I'm bad at responding.
You really start it, it'll run itself. Like, dude, a group chat on X.
Yeah,
a group chat on X. You start it, and people will talk. That's all you got to do.
I know Aaron wants to do a Rogues Gallery Discord. I might offer my services as a young man who set up many a Discord.
Discord.
I hate Discord.
No, I have one. Noise. You guys just have no access to it because I hate Discord so much. Speaking of, so I'll just ask Iron to add you guys in. It shouldn't be a problem because you're white and successful, which we don't. We have many of that in the group chat actually. Darnell,
successful.
Darnell, what do you have planned coming up for 2025? And I see you next year.
Now that my internet has been fixed, I actually have stuff that was made in the last year as opposed to 10 years ago. We're gonna take tomorrow night off for the quiz time because again, New Year's Eve, people have plans, don't want to make anyone come in and watch. So we'll be back next week with live quiz time at 8:45 p.m. Central Time. Friday, insert title here with Drunken Emerald. Saturday, probably here. Saturday nights have been really weird for me lately with the kids. Then Saturday afternoon, I got a Curse of Strahd with the Full Metal Nate. I'll be doing some Space Jockeys once that gets off the ground again. Once they start up with that again, some cool episodes coming up. And lastly, I have youtube.com/@shamrecords. My music, it is very good, very funny, silly music. A couple covers that we did a folk country cover of a Baby Got Back. Still makes me laugh to this day. It's like 6 months later. Check it out. Go laugh. Leave some comments. Tell me if it sucks. Tell me I should kill myself. Whatever. Just leave a comment.
Yeah.
What's the name of that channel again?
It's at Sham with a capital S and Records, capital R, all one word. The logo should be like a yellow square with a record in the middle.
Okay.
Cyfax, what about you?
For what? Sorry, I missed
2025.
Oh, just gonna be trying to do a lot of trying to do a lot more videos, being on as well as many streams that'll have me at the beginning of this year. Like some of my schedule is going to be changing. Most of the stuff that I already have going on, like stuff like this and like Sunday nights, it's like it's all kind of the same, so it's not that big of a deal. But some of my hours will be changing with the coming of the new year. But for the most part, I'll just be trying. I'm going to start trying to do a lot more videos, trying to get those numbers up, and just try to expand my content. Probably do a lot more anime stuff, like I was saying, because that's the main stuff I've been watching. Yeah, and it hits pretty big too, and I like it, so it works out.
Yep. All right. Bob loves porn.
Yeah. Let's see. I just finished a review of Nosferatu on my main channel on Bob Loves Movies. Really liked it. Gonna probably take a break for the next week or so, just simply because I was looking, there's not really anything coming out. So because of that, I'll probably wait until the following week before I start reviewing anything again. Unless something pops up, some news or something like that. And but I'm looking forward to it. So encourage everyone to go check it out. Bob Loves Movies. You'll see my logo there. You'll see some popcorn. The name of the channel is actually Was It Good? So you'll see that written on the logo. And then on my secondary channel on Dad's Turn to Talk, again, like I said earlier, we just broke 100 subscribers. So we just got our New Year's episode up yesterday. Same thing. We're going to take a break for the next few days for that. A goal, hopefully, is to go live this coming year because we've just been recording and then posting the show. So hopefully go live. So we're looking forward to that and trying to grow there. So go check that one out as well. It's just search Dad's Turn to Talk, all is one word.
Dude, those reviews are 6 minutes, right up my fucking alley. That's what I like. That's what I need. Short reviews.
Oh yeah, I try to keep that somewhere between 5 to 7 minutes long with each one.
That's what we talked about the last time I was on here. It was just like, trying to keep your videos around 5 to 6 minutes seems to be like the sweet spot.
That's like Jeremy John.
You'll get a lot more like playthrough. People will actually watch more than just a minute of your video. Because if I do 12 to 16 minutes, it's like I only get a minute or two watched on it. And people
that's why I used to do unboxings of stuff. I would always start out. We're doing an unboxing. We're going fast. We don't like go super fast, but I don't take 30 minutes to unbox 6 items. Make it 5 to 10 minutes. Then you got traction.
I like to do a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, and especially if you're also doing stuff like even stuff like this where you're jumping onto streams, it's like with your streams is the time where you get to go over some of your points a little bit further. And that's why I'm also considering trying to get a stream started. I don't know how many times a week yet or what times. I need to figure it all out because I'm not very good with this stuff. But it's definitely up there on the list of stuff I want to get started. But it'll give me time to sit there and talk about it. And if hopefully, I'll get a couple people in chat, then I can bullshit with the chat too. It'll be a little bit more interactive with people instead of just on other people's channels. I can have my own thing going. So that'll be cool.
Hell yeah. As you guys know, for me, the biggest goal of 2025 is consistent content in a shorter time frame. So when news drops, obviously I'm going to be bookmarking it on X, formerly known as Twitter, coming home, resting, getting the video done, and getting it out to you guys. And if I didn't have time to get the video done, and if it's something that's news related, we're going to talk about it here on the show. So I said basically starting next Monday for news that I haven't had a chance to get to yet, we're going to do that on the show, obviously. I'm going to try and make sure we knock out maybe 3 at a time. So that way we can just get it going. Just 1, 2, 3.
Like how we used to do?
Yeah. We got to start getting stuff done. We can have, obviously, if there's no news, we can just chill, obviously. But if there's news going on, there's a lot of it. Let's just get it done. Let's go and start putting out our opinions out there, boys. As for because I'll actually be doing a channel update video for my comic book channel. But if anyone who does watch content over there, my goal for comic book reviews is 3 reviews a week and a trade paperback. I currently bookmarked where I'm reading the first volume for Zeb Wells' Amazing Spider-Man. So I'm going to go and finish reading this tonight, obviously, and I'll might have a review up for it. So I'm going to end up getting this reviewed first before I review anything else. And let's see, for this channel, Iron Man podcast episodes, upload the podcasting platforms, and then I'll be uploading the rest of this show episodes to the podcast platforms as well. The Cloud9 podcast should be returning potentially this week or next week in full capacity because the season is going to be starting, obviously, very, very soon toward the end of the month in January. So Thursdays and Sundays, the Cloud9 podcast is back. We're going to be so back, boys. But yeah, I want to try and get more movie reviews done. I'm being really serious about that. So if anyone does watch newer movies and you want to review them with me, let's just schedule it, make the time for it, and just get it done, Or if not, we can just watch Netflix movies like The Union, which I'll be watching, and me and Donna will review it together. It will happen just like my dad being in my life, actually.
I think I found the perfect
watch every new movie every week, so whatever the new thing is, I at least watch whatever the big one is, guaranteed. Yeah. Just because I got the pass, so it's almost
makes sense.
It's something to do.
I just want to say before we end off the episode, thank you guys for the support. Anyone that obviously watched the episodes live or the replay, anyone that appeared in chats, commented, we had a good time here, obviously. But for 2025, I don't care about if certain people aren't going to be on the show anymore. It doesn't matter to me anymore. All that matters is getting stuff done and just trying your best and just being consistent. All that matters to me. And I'm going to be giving out tickets to my hype train every day. So thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show. And we'll see you guys later. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great New Year's. See you guys later.